Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures in positive territory in a big way this morning. All-time high territory for the most part. Right across the board, big moves coming after Pfizer and partner BioNTech BNTX reported positive interim phase 3 trial results from their potential COVID-19 vaccine trial going on over at Oxford in the UK, saying 90% effectiveness to this point. Apparently, we're also going to get some safety data in about a week's time. They're aiming for the end of the month as far as possible approval, or starting to look for approval on this vaccine. So we'll talk all about that coming up. Futures were up more than a full percent right across the board after multiple media outlets on Saturday reported Joe Biden had won the U.S. presidential election, if you'd been under a rock for the past couple of days. So he ended up getting 279 electoral votes, I think it was, or 278, surpassing the 270 number that is needed. Individually this morning, as I mentioned, PFE, Pfizer shares, BioNTech, basically anything travel related going to be up double-digit percent this morning. Six Flags, Disney, AMC, all the cruise lines, all the airlines going crazy at this point. We'll talk about all of those. There are a few stocks that are going to be moving to the downside. Anything that was in that kind of stay-at-home group that we've been talking about over the past few months. Zoom, Peloton, both down more than 10% at this point. And cannabis names in play as well. So much to look at this morning. It's Monday, November 9th, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see nicely positive here. This is even before we got any of this trial data. 1+% right across the board. We'll go over to Europe and see big numbers to the upside. Wow, 7.5% for France. Look at Spain, 8% to the upside. England, 5.8% as well. Let's go over to North America and see how things are shaping up so far. Yeah, same story. Yeah, big time positivity outside of the NASDAQ. 0.7% only for the NASDAQ. Tech stocks, the only question mark here, heading towards the open. You can see everything else nicely higher. Bitcoin lower. Crude oil, we're going to talk about energy names, but yeah, it was up more than 10% at one point in the pre-market. Gold getting hit here a little bit as well. 4% to the downside, guys. Good morning. What a morning to start off a brand new week. Monday morning, we have potential vaccine. We have officially, I guess we can say, a new president for the U.S. Unofficially, but officially. And everything to the upside so far.
Just
not everything.
Not everything. You know what we were saying? What to buy if you're looking for a long term. I mean, wow, Bitcoin going to make some moves to the downside. Gold there as well is going to be down. Look, there's obviously everyone's going to be paying attention to the stay-at-home names and of course the travel industry. Disney, Six Flags. Some of these things are going to be through the roof today. So we have to make sure we narrow things down to a few symbols that we like. I've taken one shot already in Vaxart, just thinking I wanted to beat up on some of the other vaccine names that I feel like if they tried to come back to Friday's prices, I wanted to be fading them. Biogen is, they were in play last week. Bad news from the FDA for them. So it turns out their Alzheimer's drug not effective. So not all good news in the biopharma. Biogen is literally right back to where it was before the pop. So they're down significantly, 30% here. So there's so much to watch here, Sean. I feel like there could be some over-exuberance here. All that said, there's still a few names I think that we can pick up, and there's plenty that's going to be active today.
Yeah, like nothing makes me happier here when I come in, and I think Disney may have now overtaken Google in my portfolio to be the #1 stock that I'm holding in my long-term account. That would be now maybe Disney. We're going to find out. I do see Searching Life there, and a few people wanted to see this imbalance locator before we go over the names. Oh, and one other thing here, we talked to the team around here, and we're using MailChimp to get rid or to distribute those watch lists. So we apologize. look, we're using, a big company that's not something that we've built or anything like that. So we apologize on the watch list. We're working with MailChimp, and hopefully they'll be able to get that sorted out for you. But yeah, everything B for Brendan here, or buys, whatever you like. They're all on the B side here, and starting with XOM, big report. Well, not big report, but big oil day, up 12% at points. Now XOM looking to be up 10, I think it was. Yeah, 11 now. XOM up. NEO 1.3 million. There's the big dog Pfizer. We all know about that. More to come, man. I would actually fade Pfizer a little bit here, just because although their vaccine got approved, not approved, but that 90% rate there. I just believe J&J, AstraZeneca, they're all probably, Moderna, they're all probably going to have the same kind of results. But good for Pfizer for getting them out early. What a surprise the day after Biden is officially, I guess, elected in, I guess. ACB there, the marijuana names, Hexo, CCL, Palantir, the big dog. I mean, look, it's going to be a fun day, Brendan. This board will change. But I like Disney today. I like Alibaba. And I like a few of those names. It's going to be a fun one, guys.
Yeah, we're going to have to check back in on that a couple of times, I think, before we get to the open here. Big time numbers. Can't remember the last time I saw a stock like Pfizer with 7 million share buy and balance so far. Let's have a look at what's coming up a little bit later on this morning as far as educational content. We got to keep learning, guys. Brand new video. Yeah, timing matters. Going to talk about the different day parts of the trading session, the morning, the midday, the close, different opportunities, different trading styles that work the best throughout those different times of day. A lot of people requested this one, so that's going to be a good one coming up at about 11:45. Valeria will have the link for you in the chat. Speaking of Valeria, it was your birthday weekend, Valeria. Happy birthday. How was your weekend?
Thank you, Brandon. It was amazing. And hey guys, happy Monday, everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, smash the like button, and share the link with friends. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, lots to, fireworks for Miss V on her 53rd birthday again. We also have a very special guest coming up. I'm going to hit this one as well, guys. Very special guest coming up about 11:40, 11:45. We're going to talk to Arbor Metals, a little bit of a company profile coming up at 11:45. So stick around for that. Should be very interesting in the gold space. So interesting moves in the gold market today. So lots to talk about coming up about 11:45, as I said. Let's jump into what is moving around. And as Sean was mentioning, guys, if you've signed up for the watch list, we apologize for any kind of delay. We are using MailChimp, as Sean was mentioning, to distribute. We try and get it out around 8:40, 8:45 Eastern time, but it has been a little bit laggy, to say the least, when as far as people receiving the watch list. But absolutely free to you guys. We'll send it out as quickly as we can every single morning. We go over all the stocks on the watch list and between 9 a.m. and 9:30. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you do grab the absolutely free watch list. Let's talk about Pfizer and BioNTech, guys. Both up significantly. PFE, BNTX shares moving higher this morning after they announced 90% effective rate on their interim trial data. It was interesting. Multiple people immediately saying that the U.S. would have been satisfied with 55 to 60% effective rate. So 90% obviously blowing that out of the water. So this is definitely positive here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the regular flu vaccine, like 40 to 60. I mean, you're talking about a fantastic result here, I think, across the board. I mentioned a few seconds ago that I was looking at that Vaxart to try to beat up on. I'm getting out of that one because it just started to come back to the upside. So I'm going to cover that short idea. But Pfizer, Sean, you mentioned, of course, that maybe this one is a bit overbought. The typical play for me on these is I'm looking for a rollover on actual positive news. Now, it's holding up pretty well. The way that trade would happen, and the only way I like to take these, is if you do get buy action off the open, which is that extra exuberance that sort of comes in at 9:30, and then a failure to break through either a significant level in the higher time frame, which we don't see, but 42.30 is the current high. So that's the price I'd short in front of it on the way back in. If that happens at 9:30, I'll try that trade. It's worked in the past. That's why I liked it. I tried over in Vaxart, which was down on this news. So there are some biopharma names that are trading to the downside on this news. Of course, they're competitors when it comes to this.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is the big thing here. You guys were looking at some of this stuff here with Pfizer. It's a 7.6 million share bid. And like I was saying there, big news. Thank you for saving the world, apparently. But 15%, just a lot, in my opinion, a lot overdone. 23 million shares. Neil just went over some levels, so I think we'll all be on the same page with this one. If Pfizer breaks 41.50, which it might do, like, you got to let these things settle down. I really think the plan for today is I'm gonna get to Zoom. I see a lot of you guys asking about these questions. A lot of the things about these stocks here today, guys. This is a lot of like exuberance today, and there's a lot of happiness. It's such a great day for the longs, but there are some stocks getting hit, and I just wonder how that's going to sort out. So let's wait on Pfizer. I do like 42.50. I don't think I'll be going long though. I'd rather short it into this between 42 and 42.50. I will be looking to go short.
The next one need to talk about here, Disney. We mentioned, or Sean mentioned there, right off the top of the show, big move for Disney here in the pre-market. Obviously, a lot of their business coming from the theme parks. They also have a cruise line that they operate as well. So Disney still about 9% here, Sean?
I love Disney. I mean, Disney, like I was mentioning before, yeah, good look there on the 9%. Yeah, we're fading back a little bit, up 10 now. We were really high, man. We got to 142 in change. I want to take this out. I think Disney, they're firing on all cylinders. Look, The Mandalorian comes out with season 2. I don't know how the ratings have been. I thought the first episode was pretty good. The second one was pretty good too. I'll leave like the analyzing of this stuff to Neil because he is self-proclaimed Star Wars nerd, or nerd in general, maybe. I don't want to take it. How was episode 2, by the way?
Okay, first of all, right now, the biggest mistake Disney ever made was not just charging separately for this because they'd have whatever they want. I'd pay it. And look, you like Disney, I love Disney as well. I think they were going to do well regardless. This is just probably going to speed things up a little bit. You look for things that are actually worth buying, Sean. Only up 10% here. I know you were buying some breakouts. I'm actually looking for a dip into 138.50 if we can get it.
Yeah, no, and that was the whole thing here. Remember, look, we started the show, and it was only 10 minutes ago where we said that this was probably a little bit overdone in some of these names. I do expect the same thing to happen here with JP Morgan as well, to come back a little bit. I mean, we were buying this thing, and again, we gave this to you guys hand over fist at $99. Anything below 100, I was saying we should be buying this stock, and then selling it when it got above. And today is maybe finally the first breakout. We are below there, JP Morgan. So I'm just looking for a lot of these value stocks to come back. Disney is one of them. I love that 138.50 level, Neil.
On to the next one here. I have to look at some of the theater operators. Put AMC Entertainment on the watch list. Was one of the first ones I noticed this morning when this announcement came out. Immediately was up 60+%. Ended up, I think we're still up around 70% on AMC. There's also CNMark, CNK, which is the other kind of major theater operator in the U.S. Both also going to benefit from this.
I can't look. I can't not short this one. This is the thing about it. This is the thing about AMC. You get like that 70% move. I told myself I was going to wait a little bit, and then if selling came in, there was a bit of a sell. I had a quick in and out, just a long position. But this is to give you perspective on how far we've come on AMC. I'm going to get out of this trade before the high of the day. This is not something I want to give to like a 470 area, but I am short here at 418. If it does break about 450 or so, there's just no way I'm going to still be in it. But you get up this much, I think the rollover could be on. Some of these names feel a little bit overheated to me, and AMC is definitely going to be one of them. So I'm going to try my hand with this short. The other thing to watch out, if it breaks the top, this is probably not a day to be fighting any of those types of things. You're probably going to be looking for some breakouts just because a lot of shorts are going to be running to the hills on a morning like today. But I have tried this one off the 450 level. If it breaks that, I'll be all out of AMC. I think there's a decent chance we can get at least back to 360 though.
Yeah, Brandon, let's roll the list. Neil's trades AMC wonderfully, so let's go to the cruise lines.
Yeah, let's definitely go to the cruise lines. Have to talk about travel stocks here, guys. These are the big movers so far this morning. All of the cruise lines as a group up more than 20% still at this point. RCL, CCL, NCLH. I mean, all of these names, and I put this down in the retail section, but all of these names have kind of been just waiting for some sort of catalyst. It seems like some sort of relief coming, and apparently this is it so far, because what a move these things had this morning.
So, like, I made the comment before that I'd rather buy CCL once some sort of a vaccine news has been released. Well, here it is. But I did not think we'd be up 32% on this news. And again, the vaccine is just, trials. It's great to hear, like Neil said, 90% versus traditional flu, 50 to 60% efficacy rate there. So that's fantastic, man. Up to $19. Look, the funny thing about CCL here, and I'm going to probably only trade CCL just because those of you, what's up, Daryl? No, there's RCL, there's Norwegian, there's so many that are available, but CCL is generally the one that we trade on the show anyway. So I'm going to stick with what's been working. But look at this, man, $18.98. Other words known as $19 here. Look at that. This is $18.98 right here, I believe, anyways. And today's high is $18.98. So if we go all the way back to these September highs, I think that'd be fantastic. We did dip below. We're obviously well above this 50-period moving average. So let's look at a 1-minute chart right now for CCL. Okay, again, I think these are going to be dip buy opportunities. I really think this can come back to 17 where we start to buy some off here. I wrote down on the magic list here 1850 for CCL, and then we'll see what happens. But I do like 1850 on a break. That's right here. We'll test it again. And if we look at the imbalance locator here, and this is what this is, guys. If you want to see more of this, you got to write imbalance locator, okay? This is what this is. So you can see at the top imbalance locator. I don't even see CCL. There it is. It was a little bit higher. We've already paired off, so still a nice little buy here, but 438,000 shares. Is there another name you're looking at, Neil?
I was just going to jump over to the airlines because, CCL is going to do the volume today. You almost can't go wrong. You're going to see these move lockstep. So pick the name that you're most comfortable with. So when it comes to the airlines, I would probably gravitate towards Spirit just because, done well recently and safe. And you might hear the term buy the dip a few times today. Obviously, there's still some room to run in any of the airlines, and I think you're going to get your shot. But if we're looking at the daily chart here, if we get anywhere back close to this $20 area on Spirit, I think that's where you start thinking about buying any kind of a dip. 20% is starts to get a little bit crazy, and every chart looks the same in the pre-market. You're going to see some big time flushes back in when the bid does get out of the way, and that's what happens when profit taking comes into play. So I would not be surprised if there was like an immediate chance to buy like a 20 off of Spirit if it just flushes at the open. So, I'll be locked and loaded ready on some of these names. You got to pick something that if you want to buy that dip, maybe you get a little something at 9 o'clock, 9:30, despite the fact that we see bids on that imbalance locator. Sometimes we do see selling into those big positive buys.
I was just noticing Love here as well. Southwest, the other one doing big time volume in the pre-market here for its stock. So Love typically does about 100 to 200,000 in the pre-market. We're at $1.5 million here. Look at this, recent highs clearing that last little hurdle already, whereas some of the other ones still kind of have resistance in front of them to go. So another one to look at there, guys. Southwest, LUV in New York. Let's go to Zoom. Lots of people talking about Zoom. Some of these stocks are going to be trading lower this morning. Peloton, Zoom, the two biggest ones so far in negative territory. Any of the stay-at-home group that we've been dealing with over the past couple of months under pressure, guys, with the potential of anything kind of returning to normal.
Someone was asking there about Amazon and whatnot. So I was just looking at Weed here, which is Canopy, which is CGC here in Toronto, and I'm debating putting a market on open order into this trade here because CGC is going nuts. We will get to these in a minute. You caught me actually on the screen here. That's CGC.NY, the marijuana stocks. We've been pounding the pavement on this one since $14. Great to see it come up here today at $25, $26, obviously on a Biden win here. Legalization of cannabis is going to happen. It already has happened with the recreational side of it in a lot of states, and now we'll look to go federal. If it goes federal, guys, honestly, it's going to be insane. Like, even if they change the laws from now here in Ontario and Canada, you can hold up to an ounce on you and keep whatever you grow, and you can have up to 4 plants per person per household. If something like that happens in the U.S., man, I don't know what's going to happen. We like grow generation better, GRWG. Okay, back over to Zoom. So that was that. Good little talk there. Zoom, okay. So anything, and I know we all have the same feeling about this, anything, come on, Zoom, let's switch over charts. Any name that is known as like a stay-at-home play is going to be hit today, and that's just what it is. Amazon, obviously, the price is nuts, but you're going to see that getting hit down. You're going to see Zoom getting hit down. I just talked to Greg. He was debating buying some Zoom. Maybe this is a little overdone, down 14%. Look, they're doing big things, Zoom. They're going to be getting into a lot of different businesses. They're going to be into that IP phone business and whatnot. They've talked about releasing a whole bunch of different products. So watch out for Zoom. I don't think it's worth worth trading off the open because I just don't know if this is going to be a follow through. But this 440 is looking awfully juicy, man. We bumped up to, it's 439, but we bumped up to this level a bunch of times. So I would say that if you're trying to play back anything, there's going to be Zoom and there's going to be Peloton, but I do like these ones on some kind of a bounce play. But again, if they sell these off, I mean, Neil, look at the run that Zoom has had, man, up to 580. So no doubt a pullback. Look at this, 468. We're down below the 50-period moving average, so I can't really put a stamp of buy on this.
Yeah, I'd actually feel more comfortable buying dips on Zoom than I would in Peloton here. And obviously, look, it goes without saying they're going to be down on this. Bouncing right now off the 50-period, at least that's a little something if you want to check that out. But 105, double bottom already. I mean, check that. It's like 105 and change. So I think there's a bit of a level break that could come in to the downside. I'm going to be looking to fade Peloton first chance I get. I'm looking at a 114 level. Just to see if it does try to come back there. And, you know, just one of those things. You look at like the 105 to 125, you know, at a $20 range, you pick the middle of it, so that 114 in front of 115 could stand out on a bit of a bounce. But I'm going to look to fade Peloton. I don't see any awesome opportunities to buy. I think Zoom, even if it comes down further, you get like 400, you get 380, that looks pretty good. But Peloton, I'd rather be fading that one in today if I could. I just want you guys to note, Pfizer, the volume's getting through the roof, and I'm seeing just massive order flow come through on the New York book here before the open. So this could be interesting because I'm seeing 500,000 share orders get thrown around on the book for that open, and we're both looking at this 42.50. If it does not break, if it goes up into that and doesn't break it off the open, I'm going to be fading this one for sure.
Guys, great to see so many new people with us this morning. Welcome if it's your first time joining us. We do this every single day the market is open. We talk about all of the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market between 9 a.m. Eastern and 9:30. If you are joining us for the first time, take a second, hit the like and subscribe, guys, so we can let you know every single time that we come on. I want to touch on these cannabis stocks real quick, guys. ACB and Canopy, the two big ones, reporting earnings pre-market this morning. As far as the actual numbers are concerned, both a little bit better than expected. I think Canopy's report was actually better than Aurora's report. However, we're seeing ACB with double the percent move here in the pre-market, guys. Thoughts on ACB versus CGC?
AGCP just gets squeezed more. I don't know. That's just my take on it. So we talk about it being the more beaten up name, and sometimes that just means the shorts feel more pain. And I think that's what's happening here. If we get anywhere close to like 16, 17 bucks, I'm not saying it's going to happen this week, but at this point, you want to be prepared just in case it does. I'd be looking to fade it when they did have the reverse. That's where we got to last time. It's trying to hold this key level here, this 1220. So if it holds above that, I think that's a bit of a base just looking at Friday's high. So on ACB, if it can't hold 1220, it might actually start to come back in. But above there, it just still feels like a bit of a runner, and the squeeze is definitely on with this one.
Yeah, oh, hell yeah. I just triggered in by accident there and got out. So we got in at 01 or 02 and out for flat. There's a big buyer here at 13. We'll see if it can hold. Right now it's been holding 13. I'm looking to take off this top. I just put the order in right now. I just hope I don't get filled before the market opens, which is in 7 minutes, which could happen. Look, we saw ACB basically, I mean, if you want to talk about going parabolic a little bit here off the open on Monday, that's basically, or on Friday. Today's Monday. Hello, hey, I'm Sean Catino. What's up? Okay, so if we go long here, it's kind of the same thing. We broke through the high of the day here off the open, and that was 860. We ran up to 960 or so before coming back in, and then just literally taking off again once we took out the high. That didn't happen until about 10:30. So I'm kind of wondering if the same sort of situation happens today with ACB here. Maybe takes out the high, runs a little bit, and then goes. But look, this is the thing. I think it's all about being squeezed. Neil talked about that already. This name, when we talked about it, guys, back down here, I mean, it wasn't here. This is the daily chart. We talked about this one more late September here, right about here. $4 or $5 is when I stamped this approval on this after we saw, you know, the debates and whatnot, and we knew that cannabis right away then would be on the docket. So $4.75 all the way to the high side now, 13 and change. Just look, we've had problems up here before. 1570 could be a spot that we look at. Let's call it 1550. You could look at 1405 here as well, 14-ish, some problems. So that's what I'm going to try to do. We'll see if we can take this off, and then let's not hold it too much through 14. If we're lucky enough to get that, we'll be hitting the home run. I do like CGC. I told you, best of breed. You can't be wrong with CGC. If you're a little more on the conservative side, you want to get your money into a play, CGC and Grow Generations are my picks.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to get to this SNDL because I know some people asked about it. Sundial Growers also getting a bump up, and Sean just talked all about this. If I'm looking to fade something, it's also going to be this name. We talked about ACB. It's probably a little bit safer when you're looking at a penny stock, and we did have a failure off of an 83 level and a 95-cent level. It's done 112 million shares already. So this is going to be very, very active today. I like things that already start to come back in. You see way more weakness in the pre-market here in this name than the rest. But first things first, can it hold this 65 bounce point? If it goes through there, I think we're squeezing to the top. And if we break through the high at 83, 95 is your next level to the upside.
All right, guys, a couple more things to get through here. We talked about oil, 9-10% to the upside on the possibility of demand coming back into play here. All of the oil producers up significantly. Oxy, XOM, you can look at BP, RIG as well, I noticed moving around. Let's talk about retail stocks. They have been maybe hit the hardest as a group because of the pandemic. Sean, you want to talk about Simon Property here?
Oh, do I want to talk about Simon Property? Yeah, hells to the yap. Another one, guys. We will put on a smile on this one because, look, what's up to Daryl? What's up to a lot of you guys that have been trading this one with me? And welcome to Profit Land as we punch SPG in the mouth. I've been banging the drum on this one, guys, as you know, for a while. It was been in this little area, and now we finally break out. SPG bounce off 60. I mean, how many times down here were we loading it up back down below 60? It's a big dividend. I said that they were going to be in trouble last week. They were in big time trouble, obviously. Real estate. I mean, look at the daily chart. This is a daily chart, but look where we come from, guys. I mean, we were up here 150, 160. They own, I believe, the largest commercial real estate malls and whatnot in the United States. So Simon Property Group, obviously on a vaccine, just continues to make moves to the high side. I love everything about this play, but again, it's going to be a little tippy here, so you got to watch out. Like, I'm really not putting in. The only order I have in is ACB right here to take off the top in the pre-market, but I'm going to wait. But SPG is going to be on my watch. 74, 75. If we can get it back to this 71.50 level, I think that's a decent spot to get a bid in. But I just don't know, man. I mean, the market's pulling back a little bit here. We were up 4, 5, 6%. The Dow was up 1,800 points. We'll see what it's going to open up soon. But I'm just a little nervous right off the bat. I think we're going to let things settle down. But Simon Property Group, guys, anybody that has that, this stock could be going to the moon.
I want to quickly, just before we go to, I know we have to go to Arun here in a second, but energy up obviously a lot, 10% on oil, crude oil there, $41. I mean, what a recovery. We'll jump to Chevron because I feel like that's the name that we've always been mentioning to you as the place to go, one of the safest dividends in the entire market. Up 10%. If I say dip by one more time, it's going to get a little crazy. I feel like I'll say it 100 times today. But I'm watching for any pullback into 76.20 on Chevron. That's what I'm waiting for. I think there might be a breakout at 80 even. That's the high of the day pre-market as well. And a bit of a level here, just a tiny level at 80 when you did get here last time when it broke down below it with some resistance. So I'm looking at 76.20 and $80 on Chevron, guys.
All right, guys, let's go to Arun. We'll bring him in and have a look at the market because, wow, what a move. To the upside here in the pre-market, Arun, all-time high territory. What do we look at here?
Okay, so any plan that you may have had, the way I'm going to approach it is any plan I had has to go out the window at this point because the market's had moved way too fast. Any levels that were there before, can't trust them anymore given the volatility. So it's going to have to be more of a scalp game, faster on the entries, quicker on the exits as well. Respect the level. If you find a level, respect it, but at the same time, don't hold on to it as the hold till failure kind of situation. So a couple levels I do have, they're far away. I won't fully play with them, but I'll just leave them on my chart. Just keep an eye on 35.75 and 35.45 are in play, but the market's up fairly big, right? I mean, it's up 4.38% on the ES and just under 1% on the NQ. So at this point, all you can really do is just kind of trade the flow a little bit. One concern I do have at the open, given how fast we moved up, it's a potential to completely reject off the open. So aggressive down move. I'm going to keep an eye on that. It may not happen, but that's something to be concerned of. Given how fast we've come up, it's easy that there's a lot of pockets of volume that are just going to fall apart very quickly after the open. So just keep an eye on that. Just keep any levels you determine. Just be quick to get in and out of them. Respect them, but just move them out of the way. It's more of a scalp game today there, Brennan.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. Yeah, going to be an interesting one for sure. I think it goes without saying, but guys, got to have a plan today. Narrow it down to 1 or 2 or 3 names. Focus on those. Kind of avoid getting caught chasing things as they are going to be moving significantly. Real quick here, ONCT, small one we've been looking at past couple of days. A couple of days to the upside here, consolidating under this $5. Watching $5 on ONCT, guys.
Okay, yeah, I think going to those names that you know are confident about, I'm with you there. And just watch out. I'm looking at AMC. It's trying to break back up towards that 450. So there are some names getting a second win here, Sean.
Yeah, no, okay. So I'm going to go weed.to. I'm going to go long off the open. So I'm going to be long cannabis off the open, long weed, long ACB. Weed's already, the order's already in. I'm already taking it. That's going to be weed.to. I like, I know you talked about Chevron there. Yeah, I'm going to go back to XOM. XOM. Oh my God, there's not too much time left. 20 seconds, guys. I like XOM breaking through 36. Let's go short XOM breaking through 36. The other order we have on is ACB. Nothing else. Oh, my boy Palantir breaking through 15. We're going to go long on that one. It's going to happen right now as well. So we're going to go long Palantir, long weed off the open, and then we'll see what happens to the rest of these guys. But
there's
here we
that
go.
countdown. 3, 2, and 1. Ring that bell, Valeria. Pfizer's going to make a run towards that 42.50. This is the test we want to see off the open. If it bounces up towards that high and cannot break through, this is a rollover for me. Someone asked in the chat, I don't think it's a valuation issue. It's just too much, too fast is the name of the game. We've seen this be the reaction on any of these vaccine names, guys. So going to take a shot here on Pfizer in front of the top. It looks like so far it's having some trouble getting towards that 42.50.
Okay, so here comes weed, and we're going to see what weed wants to do now. See about it breaking. So we are long now, weed, 34.50 here in Toronto. We'll put a stop order back down below 34, so just to see what does happen there with Canopy. So we are long that name now. We don't have anything else. We're going to wait to see what ACB wants to do. Going to the... Come on, ACB. Again, my thing is trading a little bit slow here. Okay, this is ACB in New York, fading back downside. So like we said, off earnings reports, I don't even think it's open yet. So watch out for some of these cannabis plays, guys.
Yeah, I did get into Pfizer here. Got 41.50. I chased it a little bit, probably a little bit too far. But watching it slide back in, I wanted to see if it can't test towards this sort of 41 even area. From there, you're looking at 40 to the downside. But it's 42.50 that we're working off of. So here comes Pfizer. I'll take a little bit off for a scalp if I can for about that 40 to 50 cent win, but just maybe 20% or so. I want a bigger flush. I mean, Pfizer's up 13%. We talked about this. It's not about valuation, guys. It's just about playing a retracement when you got something up that's that big. NVAX, on the other hand, another vaccine. Apologies for not getting to this one as well. Approaching $100. They also had a bit of a news catalyst. If it fails at 100, I'd be looking to roll over into that one as well.
Okay, here we go, guys. We're into ACB. Bang! The bangers are coming, guys. We're going to go all the way up. Let's just keep on going. ACB to the moon, guys. Let's go. Big time win here, Brendan. 40 cents. ACB, holla.
Early mover here, guys. Disney as well, just taking out that pre-market high on volume through that 142.20 area for Disney, guys.
And you know what? I said this last time. Objective already met. We're upping our daily goals, guys. ACB through the moon right now. 50, 60, 70 cent win here on ACB as we highlight that early for you and often. Big move here on ACB, guys. And yeah, we did it again. ACB going through 14. Bang! We're long. Huge, guys. 13.33. Let's keep it going. Hot dogs for everybody. Let's go.
Let's do some backflips. I'll try to cover it all here. 41 break on Pfizer, so we took 40 cents out. We just took a 70 cent winner off. We've got the short also in SNDL that broke 50. I was able to get some out at 46, so a quick, almost 10% return on that name. I also have to jump over to AMC for you, which also started its rollover. So you talk about some of the long breaks, fantastic. AMC starting to do a bit of a roll. $4 is going to be the key. I will have to take some out there. It was stronger than I expected at the open. I'm short here at 425. If it breaks 4, I think 360 is within target.
Oh, hells to the yeah, guys. This is $1 in the money, and we cash out of ACB. We set the pins up, we bowl them down, and there it is, just another victory. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Lion's Den. We do this every day, and it's for free. Brendan, let's go.
Another name looking to benefit here today, Coke, guys, one we didn't mention. 7% for Coke. Just broke $53 there on a big volume spike, guys.
All right, we got to get on some more names. I know Neil's on that Pfizer. Watching JP Morgan. Yes, sir. What a good call. This was sub-hundy. Hopefully you guys have this with us. Coming back in just a little bit now. I'm just enamored with some of those weed outs that we had there. Above $14. Amazing, amazing. We make all that money on ACB, and I just said, forget it. We get out. We took 13-cent hit on our weed.to trade there just because of this name was just going crazy for us. Palantir fades off 15. This may be a good buy opportunity.
Yeah, we just hit a just strike. There goes $4 almost instantly on AMC, guys. So still hanging on to about half the position to see if we can't test towards 360. We just got a nice little 50-cent winner on AMC. Look, it's too much. Too far. That was my sentiment looking at this name. Obviously, this is all fantastic news, and I'm very, very happy that we're seeing what we are. But Pfizer as well just got a $1 win on Pfizer as it continues to flush back in. I think $40 is going to be that big test, that sort of big line in the sand. But it just feels like the retracement on in some of these more obvious things. We tried to go over all of them for you. Here's Pfizer headed back down towards what could be on a 40 break. I mean, 39.25 or so could be an ultimate target. Brendan, what's up?
AMC downside. Look at scene mark, guys. CNK just straight higher right from the open. 13 up to almost $15 for CNK, guys.
Huh?
Yeah, what the hell? Okay, we like that. Palantir tries to go through 50. We did take a small little long. Not a lot of capital into this name, but we did get a little bit out there as it breaks. We got out some at 44 there, and now it's breaking back above 50. So watch out. Look what's happening, guys. We thought this may be the case here with the futures falling down here coming into the day. I thought maybe this market was just a little bit overheated, and it looks like we may be right on that one. So watch out here, Palantir. We are long that name. We've been dumping our ACB. Obviously, we've talked about that on the upside here. So good little trade on ACB, guys.
And we gave a couple of targets here, and we broke the 40. I'm out of Pfizer. And it's talking about not wanting to look a gift horse in the mouth. Today, the theme is going to be take the profit and run because I think we're going to get a lot of volatility here. We got the nice rollover trade on Pfizer. We're looking for a little bit of buy action off the open that failed shy of the high. It's exactly what we got last out here. We'll get that clean $2 move on Pfizer. The only thing that's better than a little Pfizer is a little bit of AMC. And again, the theme is just take your profits, have some target ideas. I've got just about everything out. I have like 20% left, and it's 360. That was the target that we had. So you see some aggressive exits on this name here. If it goes back to 4 and we get any kind of a rollover there, I will jump back into some shares of AMC. The only thing that is going against me right now, and I said I would pick on at least one of these cannabis names, and it ends up being Sundial here. And this one, nice profitable trade when 50 broke, able to take some off 44s and 46s. It's starting to grind back up. I'm fading back into a short on this name. If it holds 60 to 63, I think it's going to be a rollover, but I'm not going to stand in the way if it breaks any one of these resistance levels to the top. I'll just get out and regroup. So far, Pfizer and AMC the story for me.
Guys, there we go. We run that money through. Now look at Palantir. 50-cent win, $14 name. Neil has the big ones too today. Lots of wins coming today. We said we'd be a little patient on these games, and we were. And man, now we do it. Bangs all over the place here. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. Palantir, man, we just got some out 94s. We got some out 84s, 85s. Like, I'm almost out of all this when we still have less than a quarter left of Palantir long at 50s, guys. Big time trade. What's up, Pete?
Some of the cruise lines, guys, kind of struggling at pre-market levels here. NCLH Norwegian still up 30%, but 22.50, bit of a seller at 22.50 on Norwegian, guys.
Okay. Oh yeah, we've got to look at CCL. We got
to look at Boeing too.
Yeah. We've got to look at everything. I think, and not everything, but everything that there's so much moving that it is hard to look at everything. I think we talked about that earlier. Oh my God, you want to talk about a missed opportunity? CCL. This is the one that I showed you guys. 18.50, guys. Look, 18.50. $20. We could have had that 18.50, I believe, off the open there. We could have had it, and we missed it. But there it is, a quick little dollar upside for you guys there. So I do hope that you have some of that love there on CCL. Wow, Daryl. If you're on here, Daryl, let us know what levels you like in this name. But we are just going ham right now. We're out of ACB. We're just going to watch it go a little bit here. It comes right back to flat, and we get out. I now notice that we have 10 shares left of ACB. So watch out here, breaking through the bottom. But ACB, it is my largest stock to go today, guys.
Let's go to Zoom here. Bounces almost exactly off of 400, 402 on the dime. It's trying to get back to the upside. So I'm going to have a quick look at 420 to 425. I think that's like a target area. If it can hold below that, I think the short might still be on. The breakout for me, I would look to be taking a 425 break up. Now that it's made a flush to the downside. So I know we're looking at 440. I would give a shot at 425 upside, and then a 400 level has got to be the key one to the downside on Zoom. So new bit of a price slide here. That's why I would move the target up on the long, or down on the long to 425. But Zoom looking like it's made a bottom, guys.
Neil, yeah, you want to talk about one that we missed? And welcome, if everybody's watching the show for the first time, welcome. Yeah, look at this. We gave you Disney. I could show you the list again, but I'm too embarrassed now. Disney, like we had 142 pegged there. I talked about 142 and how much we liked it. If it dipped down to 138.50, we take it. Again, I didn't put any orders out, guys, but if you liked 142, you had a $7 winner there, a $6 winner anyways, 148 to the high side. We're watching out for Disney right now. Coming right back to this 142 level. I said a lot of these names were a little overdone here, so we're going to have to watch out. I think Disney is just one of those names. Coming back down to 142. Let's take a long right around here, man, right about this VWAP spot if we can, and then see if we can hold that 142, guys. Look at Palantir, by the way. Wow.
Yeah. Palantir making moves. I feel like there's a few things that we're going to have missed out on, and I don't want to miss out on Zoom if it breaks his 425, so that's where my eyeballs are going to be. I'm watching Pfizer try to climb back up towards 40, and then I want to give you guys one last one. I talked about this sundial. Sean's giving you names to go along in the cannabis space, and I think that's the way to go. This is the one I wanted to beat up on. There was just a really large buyer, I should say, at 50 cents. They got taken out again. I'm using some of that momentum to get out because it just rolled into some more shares short. If it breaks 45, this thing probably headed back down to like the high 30s or so. Brendan, what's up?
Yeah, market heading back down as well. $10 drop on the open there for Peloton, guys. 106 down to 96 right now for PTON.
Yeah, we thought Peloton may have been in a little bit of trouble there today, talking about Zoom and talking about some of those stay-at-home economy stocks. Okay, so we did take a little bit more there on Palantir. My initial in was 15, so I just could not believe in the open when we went to 15, we hovered around there and then dropped all the way to 14.30. So guess what we did, man? Boom! It's been a roller coaster ride, but the money keeps spinning around as Palantir now up to 15.15. This is one that I gave the viewers, man. This is why you got to tune in as much as you can. We gave you this one, guys. Palantir back at $9.56 is my last in, posted up on Twitter as well. AMD, let's check that out for you, Rob. AMD was the name that we're long at $76.84. See, Rob, as we were talking about, this may be a good chance to get up. Look at Palantir go! 15.20, guys. Hells yeah, it's backflip time. Let's go. What up, B?
10% for Uber here this morning, guys. All-time highs for Uber. Another one that, if things start getting back to normal, should start to benefit. Uber up 10%, guys.
Palantir just, sorry, Neil, I have to keep doing this, man. Palantir, bang, there it is. Look at it, 15.57. Our first long, guys, 14.50, guys, up $1. Palantir still running. This was my big trade here at 15. I was getting nervous about this one, Neil. This one just going to the moon.
Palantir going like crazy. I just got into Zoom on that 425 break. I'll get to that in a quick second, but SNDL was just working out of some shares here. It looks like a bit of a buyer, 45 to 46, so I'm still shorting in front of 60, anything I can get, taking every single rollover that we can. The new position alert is Zoom. It's basically flat, holding 425. I think it gets to that 440 mark that we were talking about earlier, 435 to 440. One more, and it's just there's too many names to even cover here sometimes, but AMC, I just want to escape back into this. Talk about taking profits. Like I said, if it rolls over again off that $4 area, I'd look to get back into the short, take more shorts. Sorry, I'm still actually in position. Brennan, what's up?
Big move for Oxy right off the open. We were talking about energy stocks there, but a pullback right now. Watch 12.20 here. See what happens at 12.20, and then $12 a big level for OXY on a pullback, guys.
I mean, hells yeah, guys. I mean, what a big day this has been for us already today. We're already ringing the registers. Palantir, I mean, what, like our best out, 15.60, like give me a break. We are just absolutely destroying these markets today. And we kind of knew that this may happen. If you pick the right stocks, you could watch out what's happening here. HTZQ here on the pink sheets. This is Hertz. It's back to be tradable right now because it's above $1. We did make a little bit of a play here on a 145 break, but only went to 148. So we'll see if we can go some short here on Hertz.
Yeah, I just want to, sorry, did I just trigger into AMC? No, I did not. AMC just broke $4. I did have a stop order that I'm looking to grab short if it breaks 4. It feels like that's not the way to go. I'm not going to put a stop. I'm just going to try and get in actively if I can on this little sort of a turn. I'm still shorting in front of two levels, 420 and 450. Those ones to watch. Zoom is trying to come back in. It's trying to hold a 420. I have an area stop down there. I'll give it about 5. I was trying to make $10 on the trade, so I'm not going past 2 to 1 on this, but I do feel like we have to give it some room. I talked about not using a stop. I guess I should have done it because I just missed a bit of a rollover there in AMC. I'll have to put some orders in. Maybe passively I'll be able to get back into that one. I do want to quickly come back to that small cap that Brendan was talking about, which I completely neglected here. ONCT, it did get down to 420, and I had a chance to take it all out for what should have been a really good return, over a 10% return. I did not while I was managing some other positions. If it gets back down to 420, I'll take some more. $4 is the ultimate target. It closed there on Friday, guys.
Okay, yeah, look, lots of targets being hit today. Just make sure, we always talk about, having your sort of your ducks lined up, right? And making sure that you have the right orders out for the right kind of trade. So with that being said, guys, look at this pickup on Disney, 142.50. We did pick some up there. We're trying to see if it holds 142, market coming down. This is well worth the risk for me. We're absolutely perfect so far today. So yeah, we're happy. We're running the gauntlet again. Palantir still in the money, huge. HTZQ here, that's Hertz. We were short a little 42s, out 40s there. Not much happening on that one, but we will keep you in touch, as I think you should be able to see it. Good, yeah. We want to make sure that you're able to see that name on the board as well. HTZQ coming back down. Watch Palantir, guys. Let's just get out. This is such a big run, man. We're at 14.30 up to 15.15. Let's get out of some of this one and just watch the rest work for us.
Yeah, we're going to go roller coaster. Zoom, we're going to take our first hit. We took a hit on Vaxart. Now, remember, that was a pre-market trade in the vaccine name. I just thought the big vaccine would win and the small vaccine would be a loser. But Zoom breaks through. It might bounce here, but I'm going to step away from that one and get back into something which was working a little bit better. That sundial is going to give me a re-entry point here, I think, between 52 and 55. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Massive range on Moderna, another vaccine name, trying to get higher here. As the market continues to slide down. We came into 76 there, back to 80 bucks for Moderna, up about 10% already, guys.
Okay, yeah, and we're talking about some of those vaccine names. I said that you get some love from other names in the space, but look at this. Slaying El Dragons right now, guys. We go long Disney, I mean, you could see what we're doing, what kind of damage we're doing to the bottom of this board right here. We go long Disney, guys, down here at 142. 52. We told you we'd pick some up ahead of 142, so that's exactly what we did. I think we could get out now for 70 cents if we want to. I think that's very prudent of us to do that. So NASDAQ coming back, though. Watch out here. The S&P is looking to get back. Maybe we'll take some out if we can get up to this high, 145. Let's see. I mean, is that a little bit too presumptuous? I think we'll take out half if we can for $1.50 if it gets back to 144. Let's look for 144 here on Disney.
Just want to come back over to Pfizer, guys. It is making a bit of a consolidation. I apologize for all these wicks. These are all dark pool prints. It came up above 40. It's really consolidating 39.25 to 39.50, and I'm looking for a potential rollover, but it's interesting that this would have been the first level of support that I watched at 38 to 39, 38.80 to 39 area. So if it does hold above, there might be a push, and I'd be shorting into 41 even. Pfizer looking like it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride, and if it breaks the bottom, there's $1.50 to go. Brennan, what's up?
I was just noting some of these hotels and casino operators coming back in as well. Look at LVS, still 9.5%, but just straight southbound so far. Flip over to Wynn here, still holding higher for Wynn between 102 and 100. What a range, 94 up to 106 for Wynn, guys.
Okay.
Wow.
The day's been going so good, guys. I'm changing a little bit here. We're going to get out some Disney if we can for the smooth dollar at 143.40 or so. We'll see about that, right? If we can get that, then we'll take it for sure. That's going to be Disney up to the high side here if we can get it. Not sure. So that's the sort of the problem right now for us. So we're going to wait to see if Disney wants to give us that win up here, 142 high side. We're going to get out at 142, 144 and change if we can get it on Disney, guys. Palantir still going, only up 8 cents though right now. We're very, very light. I'm debating just getting out of all of this.
If you want to talk about the neglected stocks, and look, obviously there was going to be so much to watch today, so not going to have gotten to NIO, NEO, but I guess you can always buy a little bit of NEO. It's up 2%, making another push towards the high. Let's not ignore this if we take out the top. This is Friday's high, 43.30. This is a pre-market high, 43.50. It's hard not to take breaks when NEO has them, and 43.50 looks like a good one if it can get there. Brendan, what's up?
Kimco Realty. We mentioned SPR, Simon Property. This is another one from that group. Kim in New York, 33%. Just made a day high there on decent volume for KIM, guys.
All right, Kim, yeah, Kim Kardashian. Yeah, no, not that, but okay, WFC coming back in as well. Some of the banks here, I believe it's coming back. Yeah, wow, big time coming back in. There's so many things that we wrote down, but whatever, doesn't matter. You miss it, you miss it. We're not going to cry over some spilt milk here. But yeah, that was a big miss there on some of these banks. We did talk about JP Morgan being upside, and then we should have gotten right over to the worst of them all, WFC. And we should have shorted that one, guys. So mistake on that for sure. Disney doesn't look like it wants to go. We're still sitting here at 144.50. So trying to make $1 on that one. We'll see if that can go. But as you can see, the S&P 500 now coming back to the downside. So we may also also take our first loser here on Disney. But we're monsters today, guys. It's been such a great day. Give it to us, Brendan.
I've been kind of watching this BioNTech in the side of my eye, or corner of my eye here, 18% still, but had trouble with 112, which is basically VWAP if you're depending on what time frame. But starting to roll over again along with the futures. BioNTech's the other side of the Pfizer news story. Guys, if you like what you see so far, hit subscribe. We're happy so many new people with us this morning. Very exciting day in the market. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, guys. Join us every day.
Exactly. This is what we try to do around here. It's all live trading for you, and that means that we're going to get to as many things as we can. We are human beings that are executing live orders. There will be some missed opportunities. Thankfully, there was no dip buy here on Spirit Airlines. It just broke through the top. I'm looking at a retracement through previous pre-market high, 21.90. I mean, 22 even. You can always round up if you do like that, which I tend to do. So if we can hold that level, we might get a secondary push. I'm just watching the ES trying to hold, and if we quickly just show you the market here, trying to hold this pullback level. We did have some consolidation around this 36.20, so you might see the market start to ramp back up. So let's pick up the airline that we like the best if we get a bounce. I would get out immediately, more of a scalp idea here, 15 to 20 cents worth of risk on Spirit Airlines in front of this 22 to like a 21.80 or so.
Okay, yeah, good. And look, all these names, guys. AAL as well. That was one that we had on watch. I wrote down 15.10 there as the high. And yeah, we did not break that. And yeah, 14.80, yeah, AAL. Now, I mean, look, a lot of these names, guys, I told you it was a little bit overexhausted here coming in today, and it seems that we're going to be right on that one. What's up, Brandon?
Another one on the way back in. Play, Dave & Buster's, big pop at the open there, but more than halfway back already. Just broke 25 to the downside for Play, guys.
All right, Dave & Buster's. Yeah, things looking to break right now for sure. Good out on our weed here.to. Look at this, guys. It was flying high. Pardon the pun, not really, but kind of. It was rocking and rolling here before now fading back into some of these other names not going well. Okay, here comes Disney, guys. 70 cents in the money, 80 cents in the money. Where's my offer at? 47s. Let's see if we get up there, only 15 more cents away, and then we'll take that smooth dollar on half, and then we'll hold the rest to see. But right now we are struggling a little bit to the high side. Maybe we just take 75 cents here on Disney, but I don't know. It's getting close to our order. I don't want to cancel it, and then it rips to the high side. Here we go. We're in the 40s now. And yeah, now it's coming back down. Let's switch it into the 30s, guys, for Disney. But a nice little win here as this has just come back for us.
Yeah, I just got into Spirit Airlines, starting that position in front of that 22. I ended up having to pay up to 31s there as there was a bit of a bounce on that little pullback trade. Going back over to AMC, look, I talked about this level before. I'll just reiterate this 360 to 365 area. You've seen me slow down in terms of taking profit. I was unable to get more shares on this rollover. If you catch things on the way down when they're falling, you do miss. I didn't want to stand in front of the train. I will get back on the bid here in front of this 360, 365. If it breaks, I should only have a small piece left, headed down towards about 320 as an ultimate target. Spirit Airlines, yeah, there's the bounce. I mean, it just went back up to 22.50, so I'll try to scalp off like 20 cents for maybe a third of the position and then see if we can't hang on through the top. I tried to get this one through as fast as I could, as I just quickly noticed that nice little pullback on Spirit. And again, this is just the airline that I happen to choose. You can probably look at AAL or Delta, anything you want here. I just like Save. That's why I took this one on the bounce. Brendan, what's up?
Another big mover, recent big mover, Square here, mobile payment processor, all-time highs last week after earnings, down 8% right now for Square. Just went through 182, guys.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, look, so I did post today early on Twitter, follow us all at Trader TV, Sean, Neil, and Brendan, about the rotation into value stocks. And look, basically that's sort of what we've been doing today with Weed, looking at Disney right now. Weed's not a value stock, obviously, but we're talking about the rotation here into some of those names like cannabis. Okay, look at NEO here, moving again, 42 and change. NEO, this stock just doesn't want to stop. Tesla's up 5% today. NEO looks to take out all-time highs once again of 44. Basically 44, I think, is near the all-time high. We get up as high as 42.60. It's looking to go. I'm going to go long. We break 42.70, 42.60 actually on NEO. If we can get back up there, you could also bottom pick here ahead of 41.75. I think that's also something worth doing here. But right now, the only position I do have on is Disney, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I actually was also looking at a little bit of a NEO, but I got to go back to this ONCT. It's making a bit of a run to the top here. It took some out, and we got this little 420 bottom. I mentioned you guys I should have had a heck of a lot more out. This is this interesting wick because in the post-market, it did make a bit of a move on Friday, breaking 5 and then failing through. So you're getting a similar thing here, and long story short, you get a 5 break. If it fails, I'm going to jump into some more shares and hopefully get a further rollover. I'll keep updating you guys on that SNDL, but unless Sundial breaks and holds below 45, I'm just going to be rinsing and repeating. You'll see me shorting 50 to 53 and then covering between 45 and 48. Try and take 10% returns as I can. First things first, I do need to see if I can get some more shares in ONCT here. It tried to break 5. It just came right back in. That's why sometimes I like an area stop better. 525, and do not hold short through past that price. I think the squeeze would be on if it goes through there.
Yeah, good look there for sure. Guys, right here, I'm like looking at this. CCL to break this bottom here, 17.95. Let's see if that does happen. I do like CCL to possibly break the bottom now on this move back down. Look, you're up 31% as Valeria's going to go refill these coffees. Thank you, Ms. V. Back down now 32%. Sorry, up 32%. We're going to see, I do think we could crack lower here. 17.95 is the short I'm looking for right now in CCL. We could get it a little early. If we do get it, though, guys, yeah, it's a slippery one. It's not going to be a lot of shares here just because, again, we, like Neil said there, we don't want to throw bad money after good. We're huge today, already more than we were, I don't know, maybe any day last week. Palantir was monstrous for us. We continue to do that. Here comes CCL, guys. Watch out for an 18 break, and your boy's going to go short for sure.
Yeah, I mean, watch for some of these retracement plays. I want to go to Netflix. We talk about a lot of these stay-at-home names, and one that we might have neglected here is going to be Netflix. I'm just looking at this pre-market low. It was like 478. You are trying to range bound and bounce back to the upside here. It failed once at 480. If it goes again, I would go starter position instead of taking something a little bit too big here. But I do like that 480 if it is going to be a bounce. You see this consolidation? I mean, if it goes in your favor, it's a fantastic break. You can use that bottom for like a $5 worth of risk and then heading back up to like a 490, 500. So nice little look here on Netflix. The same would go for the reversal if you like it. But I got enough names that I like to the short side, obviously. There's no shortage of those. Pun intended, I suppose. Watch out for Spirit Airlines. I'm only going to add to my position in front of 22. I've already taken 2/3 out for that 20-cent scalp. Let's see if we can get a better price now.
I hate this. Okay, so we actually got 98s. We gotten a little bit out of CCL there. I still think, obviously, we dropped. So let's just wait to see, man. I'm short 98s here on CCL. Let's just see how far we can go down. We've already given you that trade already. Okay, and I did get out because we went short CCL. Obviously, I'm thinking the market's probably has some more negativity to it. So we are out of 2/3 of our Disney for a 50-cent win there. So yeah, 50 cents. So howdy-hoo there. Out at 143 even. You can see the numbers at the bottom there. It is 46 cent win there on Disney. So we're out of a little bit of that one. And here goes CCL, man. We just took some 92s out. Let's see to the bottom here on CCL. I don't know where the bottom's going to be. We did have some consolidation at 1773 here early on. Is that 72, 73, 75? Maybe put an order at 80 maybe for that. But again, we just took some out at 02s. Sorry, at 92s. So CCL right now, a good little runner for us as we did call that short. We're short here. 98s, just below 18, guys.
Yeah, so now things are sort of selling, maybe selling a little bit. I mean, not that much because the market's still flushing in. As you can see, I've been pretty aggressive in Sundial here, taking profit. And I've been trying to tell you guys there's a bit of a buyer at 45 and 46. That's the reason for taking profits. Every single time it pops, I'm getting a worse price. So instead of getting 53, 54s, I've been getting like 50 to 51 each time. And because of that, you have to start tightening things up a little bit. You can always use more shares. We're on our way to like half a billion shares. We're already at a $250 million already at 957. So there's plenty of liquidity and plenty of volume in this name. To go back to Spirit Airlines, like I did mention, I did take off some for the scalp trade. If it breaks below that 22, the sort of 22 VWAP, that 2190, just going to walk away from this. The market started to slide back. No need to hang on to this one as it goes against you. And I'm now watching Netflix as well. If it can get through 480, great. If it can't, it feels like the short is still going to be on in that name.
Superman is in the building with this CCL call again, guys. We just got out 84s. You can see this call down, 80s, 82, 83, 84. We now have a third of this position left. Oh, yeah, and by the way, short CCL, but we're long Disney, and that's still going up. So we still got a third of this position on, and we got a beautiful short on CCL. We just cashed some out in the low 80s. Watch out now. I think we can hold, like I said, 70s was sort of something that we're looking at. But yeah, man, it just keeps on going. It's a big stick hitter kind of day for us today. And yeah, we're making that money. That's for damn sure. Big day already. Nice trades. Here comes Neo back to the upside again. We looked at where we might want to go long through the high of the day. And if you guys took that, then welcome to Profit Land again. The high of the day was here, guys. 58. That's what we just gave you. It's at 85 right now. Like,
bring back the money. Whether or not you're trading the stocks that we give you, whether or not you're trading the stocks that, the positions you see at the bottom, these are all big days for us here, guys. And yeah, we're just going to keep on running the gauntlet here. As Miss V, thank you so much for the coffee. Thank you so much. But we do have to throw it over to the big board right now, as Brendan is happening now.
Guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here. Big time numbers right across the board. Remember, we were talking about this number here. The Dow still up significantly, but 1190, almost 1200 once again. We were up nearly 1700 at one point in the pre-market, so off the highs. Still 4%. The S&P better part of 3%. Look at the NASDAQ here, still struggling a little bit. We are positive, but nowhere near these kind of numbers the rest of the market enjoying right now. Yeah, Russell, 5.3% right now for small caps. Here in Toronto, the TSX 1.9%, the BOVESPA in Brazil, 2.6% to the upside. Everything moving higher so far today, gapping, that is. We're seeing a lot of things coming back to the downside, as we've been mentioning. Let's have a look at a few things from the watch list. Remember, guys, sign up for the watch list, absolutely free to you every single day. 20% here for Norwegian. Just wanted to mention 21 was the initial support right at the open. We did break that now. So on the way southbound, we are clear of these levels, though, if you go out to the daily time frame. Does have some room to move to the downside if it wants to. Same story on AAL here. One of the airlines, $14, $13.80 to $14. Little area of support got broken there. We're consolidating at 13 right now for AAL. And I wanted to show you crude oil. This is oil. Still 9.8% holding top end of the range here at $41 for crude. So we had all of the producers on the watch list this morning, guys. Crude oil still strong. Back over to you guys.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was about to show you this, and look, I'm basically all out of Sundial now. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. I have 10% of the position left. It got down to 40 cents, so picked on this one as a bit of a rollover play, and you're going to see it happen here. Netflix just broke upside 480, so that's a new position alert. There's a lot to try to cover for you guys, but I wanted to quickly mention, because you had said oil, Brennan, CVX, Chevron here, that was the name that we were looking at. It is consolidating back at this 80 level. It was 78 that I wanted to play off of, but it might get a second win. And if it does, maybe we play off of this $80, which is looking like it's going to be a bit of a resistance point. If it flushes through there, I would sort of back off and wait for a further flush. Some of these names are already up so much that I think patience is going to be the name of the game.
Yeah, look, I mean, and here we go. We've had some good patience here with CCL, but we are going to get out of it. It looks like it'll be... I mean, it's like a P&L, like it's just like I'm just paying the fees here, but CCL all the way back up. We only have 10% left of this one. You know how we trade, guys. We don't hold on to these things forever. And CCL, okay, now actually with that last out there at 10, we're actually flat on the stock now. So that was a 10-cent hit there on CCL, but we did take 18-cent winners or so on the bottom side. No, the best out was 84, so 14 cents. So now we have 5% left, but CCL is getting back to the upside. Look at the ES, guys, going crazy right now.
Yeah, and Netflix is going to try and give this little pullback break, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's technically like a break if you look at a 1-minute chart, but this is like a higher low gets put in a couple of times here. You give it to like this 470, 475, 477 area to see if we can't get back up to this pre-market flush level, 85 to 90 with some obvious consolidation, as you can see here on Netflix. So that's the new position. We'll give it a few bucks here to see how far I might want to go. But yeah, and there goes AMC again, guys. So I keep missing the reload on AMC, and it just flushed to the downside one more time, guys. So I will catch this the next time. I'm missing it here at 380, and now here's the flush in through that 360 price. We'll just have to hang on to what we got.
Guys, I haven't tweeted anything out today, but I mean, there's so many charts that we could be tweeting out, including this one. Bang! We're cooking up like Josh Allen yesterday, Neil. Cooking up another big win for the Buffalo Bills there yesterday as they dominate the Seahawks.
They have no
And yeah, we're cooking right now. Disney up $1.30. Hells to the yeah. Close your eyes, hide your kids, hide your wife, because here it comes. It's a belly dance kind of day right now as we go up $1.50 now in the money, guys. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting a lot of these charts. I'll follow all of us. Get our watch list. We had all of these names on here today, guys. Bang, bang, bang. We're just going. Watch the money come flying through right now today as we're just going long on everything. Oh, yeah. If you gave up on Palantir, hello. All the way backside now, 15-13. That's a good one for us. We're definitely liking some Palantir here, guys.
Yeah. So there's the flush. I just got out of 350s on AMC. I'm going to hang on, and if it goes back to 4, we'll try and reload that price. I just want to go back over to this little sundial position if I can for a second. I'm going to adjust my entry point. Obviously, you did see a bit of a flush down into 40. I think now 50 is the new target. There was obvious consolidation there. So if it breaks above, I'll be all out at that price. Obviously, the rollover has come, but no need to let it give everything back, guys. I'll be out at 50 if it goes. Netflix is having some trouble here. It's gone to the money like a buck and a half. I need a little bit more than that, at least $3 or $4 to take any of this out. If I'm going to be risking about that, that's what I want to take for profitability. But just adjusting some of my levels here on both AMC and Sundial, guys, as they head a little bit back northbound. The flush was great, but we're going back north. Brennan, what's up?
Some of the names that we've been talking about as far as the pandemic is concerned when it comes to personal protection equipment, like this one, OPK to the downside today, guys. Trying to get higher here, though. 9% still on negative territory, but OPK was down to $3 again on this positive news, obviously, with the vaccine.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look, some of these vaccine plays, they might have not seemed obvious to you, but I think Neil and I both, obviously, Neil, I think you had that huge Pfizer short there. And yeah, look, some of these plays were not as obvious, but they were a little bit because some of these were just running too far. Some of these vaccine names, and I think that we're getting a few good examples here today as the NASDAQ, man, just continues to just rocket northbound here, guys.
Yeah.
The NASDAQ, this is the ES. Check out the NASDAQ as we keep on going, man. Big time movements here. Like, look at this, bang, breaking highs right now. So watch out, guys. NASDAQ, big time mover.
Yeah, I mean, with the NASDAQ starting to come back a little bit here in the market, sort of going back, I'm just going to look at this Netflix, and I said maybe I would wait for about 2.5, 3, something along those lines for an exit point for at least half the position on Netflix, play this bounce into this 485 to 490 range. I think that's going to be the key. It just ran away from my order. If we can get a 483 area, we'll take some off. If it bounces and holds 480, the reason why I'm going to take profit here, and we'll do backflip because we might as well celebrate some of this. If it does hold this VWAP or 480 area, it could be worth a reload. I think we always have to be taking profits on this trade. I showed you what happened in ONCT when I didn't take the profit. You know, this is going to end up being not my best moment because I reload back into position. It ends up taking the top out. This stock, I didn't want to hold past 525, but worth noting, it managed to hold 560s. If it breaks back below 5 even and holds, I'm short it the rest of the day below that 5 even price, guys. So I think this is obviously the linchpin price. Shouldn't have had any shares at 470, 477. Should have waited till like 495. You're going to be a shorter. Now it's back below 5 even. I'll dip back into this short. Tighter stops this time, but it could be a longer hold in this case. And there goes Netflix to 485, so that's now $5 in the money. I think if we can get up to 590 on this push, seems reasonable to me. I'll trail this now to break even, guys.
Yahoo! Good, great trade on Netflix, obviously.
There's too many of them.
Okay, so we just did get out some Disney there. Just a little nervous that this market may turn back around here and go back into some of those plays, like Neil was talking about there with Netflix. You know, the NASDAQ just rocking right now, probably oversold. I'd like to see some Piton as well here. Netflix, there it is. You see that move. Neil's already talked about that. Peloton could have a very similar fate here, making moves back to the upside here. Let's just wait to see 101.75 maybe on Peloton. Let's see if we can do a little bit more work. This is just a 1-minute chart with a VWAP. Wow. We do like to look at larger time frames, but it's only 10:06, so I am kind of like thinking that maybe this is not the right time for a larger time frame. But 101, 102, yeah, we're still a little bit ways here on Peloton. 101.63. Let's try a little bit of a break if it does get above there. 101.63, guys.
So Netflix does break through a 46. I'm going to go ahead, like I talked about, trailing it to break even. I can throw that one out the window. Look at least 481.50 area on any kind of a pullback. I did not even think that AMC would come back this far, but it looks like it has. We'll go with the hot dogs here. I don't know why I hit it, because Sean said something about the Bills, and I was happy, and I think hot dogs when I think football. So here comes AMC all the way back to 330. It's now $1. I actually wish... Look, I missed the reload here at 4 even. It is what it is, but we're going to have only the trade that we took all the way up into the pre-market here. Now, if it breaks these levels down to $3, I'll be all flat at $3. You know, at some point, you just got to say to yourself, I'm walking away from this one. I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. This has been a good one. The missteps has been trying to get that Zoom break. But I'll tell you right now, if you go back and look at this Zoom, ultimately, I like the paper cut that we took here, relatively speaking, obviously. I think Zoom gave you that move, hopefully, to that 440. I'm going to risk $5 to try and make 10 to 15. I like that shot there. I was able to save myself some coin because Zoom still under pressure. So Netflix is going back up here. Zoom not so much. I think everyone can understand why that would be the case. Netflix a little bit stronger even before all this. Brendan, what's up?
Just looking at Trafalgo, TRVG, just popping up here. You can see big time volume just coming in here through to 170. So day highs in coming for TRVG, up about 30% so far, guys.
Okay,
The
Trafalgo. We
Trivago
just
guy.
did,
I love those commercials.
Go ahead, yeah.
No, sorry, no, I have nothing serious to say. I love those commercials. That's all.
I don't have much serious to say ever, but okay, 1830. I love the Trivago. Wasn't yeah? I think their main guy got in trouble at one point.
The guy with the white hair?
Yeah. I think.
Oh.
I think he got.
Oh, my bad.
You can Google that, but let's just leave that for them to Google. Okay, we did go short on some CCL right here. Right now, short 38s. So that's all that we have. We did double up, so we did take some 33s, I believe. Well, it doesn't matter. The average price is 38. So right here on CCL, we are short 38. I'm giving it to VWAP. This is a 3-minute VWAP. Sorry, I wanted to look at a 1-minute VWAP for this one. It's not going to be a quick trade. I thought, yeah, that's better. We're up here about 1850, so we're going to give this not too much love. But here we go back to the downside now. CCL. We'll see if we can't win on the short as well here, guys.
Yeah, I'm just watching a bit of a rollover here on Netflix. It tried to get through this price level at 85 to 86, which I thought would be chop. If it broke to the upside there, I'm looking at that 490. But if it breaks back down below 485, I can always just get out of the trade and then see if we can't regroup a little bit. Because, look, ultimately, I do want to be catching a bit of a bounce. And if it can hold VWAP, we might as well rinse and repeat that. So we'll go yeehaw, because I haven't hit that one. But Netflix, nice little breakout trade there at that 480 price. If it gives me another shot at it, I'll go again. That's the theme this morning. It's just get in, get out like a sniper where you can. There are some better holds. One of them might just turn out to be, well, I don't know if it's going to be Spirit Airlines here, but it is now holding VWAP a couple of times. It didn't reload, but if it breaks to 22, I'll just be out of this trade. It's trying to break back up towards 23, which is a high. I'll be out in front of that high because I think you play those even dollars as potential secondary or tertiary breaks, whatever you want to call them.
We're not really trying, we're not trying. We're not swearing on this show because we have some respect for you viewers out there and everything like that, and for ourselves as well and our people around us. But holy crow, Palantir, guys. 1450 was our first long as we see it come back downside. And then we just destroy it. Palantir actually my number one stock. Hertz up there. Palantir, bang, this. And then look, and then we went long. You see a little baby long here at 15. Yeah, we ran that one to 1550, and now this one just keeps going high side. Watch out for Palantir, man. Earnings pronto that are coming on Thursday, so you got to watch out for some earnings. And bye-bye, CCL. You know we're short 38. Here's another 10-cent win. We've been getting them off here at 29s, so let's wait to see what it wants to do. Watch out for these futures still moving around right now, but it's been a monstrous day, needless to say, and we got a little bit going on here now with some upgrades and downgrades. Let's see if there's any stocks we're missing here.
Hey guys, yeah, let's get you a few more symbols to have a look at so far this morning. Upgrades on this side, downgrades over there. This one, yeah, Cheesecake Factory, another one of those set to benefit from anything getting back to normal here. Cake having quite the day here, 26%. Yelp as well, another one, 25% move on the day. Lear Corporation, 7.5% on the day. Travel related, Biogen, the FDA panel coming out on Friday, voting against their Alzheimer's treatment. So 31% to the downside for Biogen. TripAdvisor as well, sharply higher, but a downgrade on TripAdvisor today. We were just talking about that Trivago. Here's Cheesecake Factory. This is 33. This thing's trading at 38.5 right now on monster volume. So big time move for Cheesecake Factory, obvious reasons, and an upgrade to go along with that. A couple of downgrades on Biogen. Big move down, 32%. We're kind of grinding 2-day lows here. 220 coming into play for BIIB. Guys, back over to you.
Okay, yeah, come back over here and we'll continue to talk about CCL a little bit here. So I do have a bid at 28. We're just sitting on, like what I'm doing here is getting paid also to trade. So there it is. Like I just sat there on the NASDAQ gateway and you get about $2 for every 1,000 shares that you add liquidity to. So just for me by getting out there at 28, look, I know $2, it doesn't seem like that much, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, it is nice to sort of catch some of those rebates, and then you really don't have to worry too much about your fees or your execution costs there. So that's a big one there. And yeah, welcome everybody joining us. I mean, thank you for coming through and watching us today. It's been a big day. Obviously, the market's going crazy off this election news here. And not only election news, guys, I really think a lot of what's moving this market here is going to have to be this vaccine news. And we talked about that. Neil's been trading Pfizer. I've been staying away a little bit from that name, but Disney has been a big move for me. Palantir's been a big move. Some of the weed stocks, man, we hit that like crazy off the open, man. This was a big one, big win there, and then a big win right there before getting out of the last 10% for a loser. So that's what's been going. And here goes CCL, guys. We can keep hitting the register on these ones. 30s. Oh, man, it was just down to 25s. So CCL down there 25. Watch out for your positions. I do like CCL still short, guys.
Yeah, and just watch out because a few things are going to come back in. A save, which looked like it was going to be more calm there. It was running to the upside. I put a target in front of 23. Want to take a bit of a bathroom break, and then it's already starting to come back in. I think there's some shots there. If you're not into this position, maybe look at that 22 for potential bounces. Watch out for ONCT. I'm taking another shot as that tries to run towards its high. One last one I want to quickly come back to because it's been a good one. This did not happen. Sundial did not trade up to 59 here. It's just a wick on the chart. Bit of a dark pool. It's still below that 50 area, but worth noting. And now that same 45 to 46 where there was buying before, now there seems to be some more resistance at that price as well, but it's resistance to the upside. So it looks like the flush still on in Sundial. Brendan, what's up?
Another group on the watch list this morning, guys, the retailers. Just noticing these are tough moves right off the bat. 23% for Nordstrom's here. We got as high, though, as 17 and change there anyways. We're all the way back to 1580 on Nordstrom's. Flip over to Macy's, same thing, $8 up to almost 9, and now trading down around 780. So big reversals coming into some of the retailers, guys.
And
wow, Oxy.
Superman, feeling like it right now with this CCL call once again, guys. Getting out here, 24s. We'll see. There we go, another bang right there at 24. So good little out here, boom. Just take it out again. You can see the damage that we're doing now. 0 LFT, our highest spot of the day, and we just keep on rocking and rolling. Make sure you check out with us coming up, guys, later on today. Not only do we live trade, but we also have big time interviews coming up. Arbor Metals coming through. Alex Klenman there from Arbor Metals. I believe he's CEO, is he not, Brendan? Amongst other things, so multiple. So if you want to know anything about Arbor Metals, we're going to check out the gold game coming up with that at 11:45. So Arbor Metals, we'll have more to come on that one, but that's coming up at 11:45. Join us if you want to know a little bit more about that. We've had Kevin O'Leary on talking about MindMed. Let's check in MindMed right now. That could be going crazy as well here. Up to, 126. Okay, not the volume we thought, 658,000. Again, this is psychedelic drugs there, microdosing. So interesting name, but MindMed only up 5%.
I want to get back to a couple of names that might have been neglected here, but just a bit of a divergence in Uber here. We're down 7%, but it's down a little bit, trying to get back up through this 80-48 level. And then I went quickly over to Lyft just to see what was up with this name. And Lyft is still shockingly up 20%. So I feel like that kind of puts Uber in a bit of underbought territory, believe it or not. So I'd be looking to see if I can't grab Uber off the bottom here, just breaking that 48 level. I'll be mindful of this top here that's forming in Lyft because that feels a little top heavy to me. 36.50. If it rolls over, I'd like to be shorting Lyft. But first things first, Uber could be a bit of a long down here.
Okay, yeah, Uber, good look on Uber there. We're also looking at Palantir. I'm thinking about taking out the top of this one. I'm also thinking about cashing out of some of the shares that I do have on Palantir as we're long at 9 and change. Oh, let's check out DraftKings, Donkey Kong. Where are you, my friend? Up to 42 and change. Okay, a decent day here for DraftKings. We'll see what else it wants to do here. I didn't think I'd have this much energy today, but I guess a second and a half coffee here will help. It was a good weekend for us and the family. We had a great time here. CCL, whoa, okay. What? All right, just didn't know that. It just goes up to 50 again, and we get out and then tip long on a 50 long. So CCL going, look at the market here, Neil, going nuts.
I mean, to say the market is going nuts is like the understatement of the century, guys. Yeah. And it just, I did grab that quick little long on Uber off of that 48 level. Got 48 and a quarter, but I'm also going to be watching Lyft rather closely here because if this turns downside, you're going to see me short in this name, obviously, right off the bat. Take a look at this. Watch out for ONCT, guys. It's making another run at the high. This will be my last ditch effort shorting this one. I've taken 1 win, 1 loss, and it'll be 1 for 3 if it takes out the top there. But if we get this rollover on Lyft, I am going to be likely very quickly from out of a long in Uber potentially to into a short in Lyft at 35, 65, 35, 70, something in around that price range. It just feels like for it to hold up 20% is a bit much to me. And these retracements have been better for me than some of the breaks with the exception of Netflix.
Oh, Brendan, find out a little bit about this story here. AMD and Tesla apparently going to have a little marriage here on chips. We're just going to go long on this one and see if it wants to work out. Long AMD right now. And Rob, I wish you had both Robs, actually. You sold it. Okay. I was going to say, I wish Rob had a mic on him right there for talking about his AMD position. We were long, both of us long, and just to give some validity there, he pulled the trigger at 76. So good job, now up to 86. So we're going to watch out for that one here today. I may get out of this one, but now things change, man. Now AMD's in the building with Tesla maybe. So we'll find out more from Brendan on that one. Oh, and our CCL reverse, guys. Bang, up to 75, so Superman on that one. We talked about getting out there at 50. If 50 did break, come on, TCL. Switch over to charts here. We go short, 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 short. Get out 18, 20, 18, 30. We hold about 30 or 40%. Get out of that one, lose, and then go long, breaking through VWAP. So right now, all is good on that one. And here goes AMD to the moon. Another 30-cent win for us. So hells yeah, everything today, Neil, feeling like cash cows.
Yeah, and there goes right to 48.50 on Uber. So we take that first quarter out. You're going to see it all the time, guys. I get long at 48 quarter. I'm going to take some out at 48.50. I'll take it more out in front of VWAP here. Remember, if I do see the rollover in lift, and I saw someone ask what rollover means, it just means a stock that is leveling off, it's up, and then gets some consolidation and then rolls over the cliff and starts to come back in. That's what lift looked like it was doing, but I got the long here in Uber because it seemed to be trailing, and that didn't make too much sense to me. So quick little long trade in Uber up towards VWAP. If it breaks, I'll hold maybe a third into like 49 to 49.20 or so. If I can get $1, I'll be very, very happy on that last third, and I'm still looking for that short. If lift does go downside, you'll see me cover Uber here, which I might not have to because Uber already give me that nice little win. So there's now a 45-cent win. Last third, we'll try to get $1. Break even stop now. I'm not going to give it back to 48. Uber will be one and done this day. Potentially. We'll see what happens when it gets to the high day, though.
Okay, AMD, we just took that trade literally a minute ago, and it's now 70 cents in the money as we go long here at 83, 81 or so, or 82, 83 or so. So nice little win there. We will tweet that out, guys. It's been a big monster day. Make sure you follow all of us as the money bags go through. I'm 6 for 6 here today, guys. Let's keep it going. Let's go. Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, small cap time. Everything outside of travel-related stocks still in play. A lot of these little names flying around in the pre-market this morning. I wanted to mention this one right off the bat. PHIO, positive news on a trial that had nothing to do with COVID, a separate trial that they were working on. So positive news this morning in the pre-market, up to about 315, 320 here. Consolidation around 275. In the pre-market ended up being the level, so I gave you a little flush there. Still kind of consolidating around day lows. Every once in a while, get a volume spike in this stock, so just be careful with that. Does tend to want to maybe pop back to the upside on that PHIO. CNMARK, yeah, I mentioned right off the bat, AMC to the downside. This thing just absolutely ripped about $2.50 to the upside, and then all the way back down again. So we're back underneath 13. For CNK. So trying this one again under 13, but that one's tough right off of the open when we saw AMC to the downside. The other one, retailers here showing some weakness, holding $16 for Nordstrom's here. We got as high as 17, so needs to stay below $16 for JWN, guys. Back over to you.
Just rolled into the short here on Lyft while still holding a third of that Uber position. So I'm going to take out that. I mean, Uber, it's still somehow in the money, 70 cents when we get the rollover in Lyft. So I actually don't mind the positioning I have, but I'll throw a stop on Uber just to make sure it does not break 48.50 back below that VWAP. Just make sure we lock in profits. And I think Lyft should potentially trail back in from here. I thought it was a little bit overbought, of course. I just mentioned up 20%, guys. So long one, short the other.
Okay, good. Yeah, so right now, CCL, guys, 34, 35, 36 cents now in the money. We'll make sure we take some of that off. Oh, yeah, AMD. Oops, put this chart over here. AMD, guys, a nice little 75-cent win. We just took this against ourselves here at 85.83. It's now at 86.57, and still making moves to the high side is AMD. Still making moves. So this is 75 cents on AMD, 50 cents now on CCL. So our Disney trade, that's probably rocking. No, actually, that's right way back down here. Brennan, again, what's up, bud?
Not seeing anything solid as far as AMD and Tesla. There are a lot of people with rumors floating around on the internet talking about the two sides teaming up possibly on some work, but nothing as far as confirmed reports yet between AMD and Tesla, guys.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, we'll keep our ears to the ground for that, obviously, just to see what happens. Watch out. Just got blown apart there. So, look, if you're going to short like I do sometimes, you're going to get that roller coaster ride. I'll give you back. I'll go back to it when it gets shot on ONCT when things calm down. But that just took out the high. I'm 1 for 3 on it. I'm not going to go back to that well unless we're back below $5. Lyft gets the rollover here. So Uber is still in the money, 50 cents, but Lyft looking like it wants to test this level, 35.40. I'm short here, 35.74. I've already taken 25 cents off the same scalp long we had in Uber. I'll take the first third out on Lyft. I think this one gets back into 35. That's not even that big of a retracement. Lyft was a $30 stock on Friday. This one could come all the way down to 33.50 or something along those lines. I want to see if we can hold a little bit longer. Obviously, I'll be out of Uber if we get any of those targets on Lyft. I can't see any way Uber would hold up under that.
No. Uber and Lyft, obviously, it's kind of hand in hand, I would have thought there. Okay, CCL guys, we just ran into a wall there at 19. There was some decent size, so we did take some out at 18.99 there. So a nice little out for us on that one off of a 51 long. So there it goes. Now it's just going to crack through $19. So good luck to anybody that had this long. We could be going to the high side again. We're still long this one, guys. This is 50 cents in the money. So like we keep saying, Superman is in there today. It's been a big day for us trading. I hope you've had similar successes as we have today, as the market just keeps on making moves to the high side right now. And some of these stocks, man, you got to be trading the right stocks. We gave SPG to you last week at $60. Believe it or not, it's at 74. We made a high move to 70 to $82 this morning. Gulp. If I was at my desk, I would have got out of some of that one for sure. Okay, that's SPG. Another name here that I've thought about getting some pullback plays in was JP Morgan. It's right at VWAP. We got to look at that one, guys, for sure. But that's JP Morgan.
Sorry, I mean, there's just so much to get to, and I want to try to come back to one play that I definitely liked. And look, I'll show you this one in the pre-market. I talked about this shorting in Vaxart. I wish I had gotten back to this name, but it did break $5. I didn't want to hold on to it that far in front of the open. But the whole idea there was short some of the vaccine names that were competitors and I think would be relatively weak, and obviously that was going to end up being true. It is sliding back downside, which is why it's back on the radar here, and I think if it breaks like 420, we could retest some of these lows. That short would be off a 450 level instead of the 5 that I use pre-market, and yeah, sometimes you're going to make top wick, but the risk here, of course, and why I didn't want to hold pre-market is that it makes a run through the high. The liquidity wasn't fantastic on it. I did not want to hold Vaxart when it was making that kind of a move. My initial short price wasn't fantastic, but either way, it looks like it's a good one now, and I will jump back in. When things calm down, which it looks like it has, and give you some consolidation, that can be a place to dig in a little bit deeper. Watch out for Uber here as it continues to try to grind to that 49. So Lyft and Uber are going in separate directions, at least for the time being. Brendan, what's up?
Tilray, guys, one that didn't report today, but just popping up on a volume scanner here. Tilray, a little bit of a test down there to about 10.20. The original low was $10 that held. So tested 10.20 again, got bought back up 9.25% for Tilray as well, guys.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, some of these stocks just going ham, to say the least here. We did get out of that CCL. Oops, that's Disney, sorry. CCL right here, guys, at 19. So now we're holding that last 10%. Debating getting out because the last time we hold CCL, it wasn't a great trade on the hold. So we are debating on getting out of some of that one to see if we can. That's going to be CCL. Only 10% left. That's what we're working with. AMD, man, this one is spicy as this goes up $1 now for us. More than $1 now in the money here on CCL. So definitely liking the action on this one. On AMD. And yeah, it's been a good day, man. I need to go I actually don't have my Hydration Nation here, so we got to go get some of that, but it's been a big trade so far today, and I hope all of you are enjoying the show, man. Big time. Look, if you guys subscribe, we're here every single day. Would love if you guys could support the show. Hit subscribe and hit like and hit share, man. Get as many people on the show as you can.
And if you're not, it's your first time coming here, obviously we got a lot of live trading, but I also want to remind everybody that coming up today, and this is one of those, we love when we can do this for you guys because learning is more than half the battle, I think. In Arbor Metals Corp, we do have a CEO, to say the least, Alex Klenman coming through. So look, we keep talking about the overall space when it comes to the metals, when it comes to the commodities, guys. And this is just one name you can learn about, but it's all about understanding the industry a little bit better. So tune in. It's going to be right at 11:45. It should be a fantastic interview. We look forward to all of these, but I know as someone that kind of overlooks the metals or the commodities at times, it can be a good learning experience for me as well. I just wanted to quickly jump over to Beyond Meat. Only up 3%. You're going to see crazy moves in every stock today, but just watch out. They are reporting earnings aftermarket today. So looking at this little bottom that got made here at 159, sometimes you want to have some targets. If things get range bound in the afternoon going into earnings, I would look to be able to pick some up in front of that level there. So a 160 bounce, something worth anticipating at least going into the afternoon as I'm seeing a bit of a retracement in Beyond Meat.
All right, B, what's up?
One under pressure here. I mentioned that OPK earlier. This is Altimmune, another one in the pandemic kind of space. $12 was support there in the pre-market. We're down to 9 now for ALT, guys.
Oh, you short any of those?
Altimmune. Okay, AMD, we just missed that high tick there, 87. Should have got out of that. We gave targets up to 90, and Rob was asking me, like, what about 90? And I was like, that's kind of arbitrary, but we go up here to 87. So I think this is worth probably taking some out here on AMD, coming back down 86.35 or so. Yeah, right, that's where we got out the first time. So let's see if it breaks here, 86.10, and we'll get out. But we're trying to get some more high side here on AMD. 65-cent win here, 45-cent win here with CCL, guys.
Yeah, and into a different kind of game over here. I'll go back to SNDL just for you guys. I did get a reload, and I talked about this, having to adjust to shorting in front of that 50 area. So I do take some at 46. I just bounced off of 42. Hey, that's my lucky number. As always, I'll always scalp out 5 and 10%. It's just psychological. I think those are good levels to work off of. And if it breaks 40, I want to try to have some on board. I've been staying net short the entire morning on Sundial here, and I don't want to stray away from that until it breaks level to the upside. So if it breaks 50, I will be out of this one and then sort of, I guess, re-engaging at some later point in the future. But I will go back to Uber. This is an interesting one because I did think that when Lyft started to roll over, and it's still 30 cents in the money for me, my Lyft short, I actually thought Uber was going to trail me up. We're getting to this 49 even area, and it just feels like, you know, I have a trail at 48.50 to lock in a 25-cent profit minimum. That just seems a little bit ridiculous. If it comes up and fails at 49, I should just be taking the profit, right here and now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll take what ends up being like a 70-cent win on Uber while still holding the Lyft short, and the market is going sideways. And if it turns here, I just feel like I'd rather be in Lyft short, which is still up 20%, and I feel like it's a little bit overbought to me.
Okay, yeah, agreed on that for sure on some of those names. I'm still on this AMD trade here because we only got out of half. So now I'm looking to see. This is a 1-minute chart. Thank you for everybody watching. Like I said, you could follow us. You want to get directly a hold of us. I know the chat goes crazy fast. We do have the last Monday of every single month. We do basically one-on-one with you, the viewers, guys, all 3 and 4 of us with Valeria as well. Take private talks with you guys the last Monday of every single week, every single month, last Monday of every week, every month here. Just delusional with all this market movement today, but you can sign up for that, become a member. But if not, just hit the like, subscribe. I saw someone say 6,300 people watching and only 1,500 likes. So yeah, get going on that one. Oops. And there we go. As we're going, I got to get out of this one. Disney, a little order comes in there. That's the other thing, guys. Talk about, like, I just got triggered into Disney. That was going to be my out. No, we've already taken a $1.50 winner on this one. But watch your stop orders, Neil. I'm just going to clean mine up right now.
Yeah, always got to make sure you do that. I do have a few that I have to make sure I watch. I didn't get into, I just mentioned Vaxar to you guys, and I just noticed that I was unable to get a fill in it. Like, I'm just going to have to go with a little bit more aggressive the next time it comes up to like 435 or 440. This is the pop I want to be playing in front of, but maybe I'll let it travel a little bit further. 450 is where my stop is that I already have in place. It's not that I want to go long this name. It's just that I feel like it's not a bad sort of scalp play, and I want to have my stop in place when I do roll over into a trade, so I don't have to monitor it as closely. Lyft does continue to go down. I'm now 50 cents in the money. And this is what I was talking about, where it just felt like at some point it was going to come back in. Uber went the other direction, but about to get that nice winner here. And you can see my orders to take profit on the way down to this level, 34.70. That'd be about $1 in the money, but I just took off 70 cents here. Brendan, what's up?
Another one to keep an eye on here, guys. Macy's just popping back up on a relative volume scanner, just breaking back through 770 here for Macy's. I saw Nautilus as well, NTLS, another one starting to head back to the upside. Futures are trying, but some of the retailers still, huge strength in that group today, 17+%. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe. About an hour to go in the session over there. V, what's up?
Hey, Brendan, European shares jumped to their highest in nearly a month. IAG is up more than 37%. Back to you.
Yeah, so much to look at today, even over in Europe, guys. Just absolutely huge numbers so far.
Yeah, I mean, where isn't huge right now? Anything oil, I'm expecting, maybe Brendan, you can give us an update on some of what's happening in Canada. Let's check over on Enbridge right now. I mean, oil markets making moves. So you have anything that's oil related today, just checking on Enbridge, up 5%. So there are those names. XOM, let's check out what they're doing as well here today. Look, everything, guys. It's just like an asset class bust right now. What's up, B?
Yeah, 10% still for crude oil. Here's another one. Suncor just about to take the high off here. 1830, 1835 was a bit of a high right off the bat here for Suncor. So right across the board, XOM, pick one, going to be higher on the day, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about, guys. You obviously have to make sure you tune in and have some good names to look at, because it can be overwhelming on a session like this. I do want to go back over to one name just to keep you guys abreast of what's going on with this position here over in Sundial. It just made another test to the low, but this is 40. This is 40 here. It did a hold. There was a big buyer on the bid that actually held it a couple of times down there. I know it looks like one, but there was a bit of a hold. I want to try to bounce down there again. I will take more profit off on the way down in front. If 40 breaks, I'm going to hold net short. I'm not going to get out of this stock in terms of the short until it takes out a key support, so key resistance level on the way bouncing back up. For now, that's going to be 50. So still maintaining the net short here. Lyft got a bounce at 35 cents, so it looks like it was a good idea to take some profit off. But I still believe that one has further to come, and especially if this market wants to retrace any further here, when we get a rollover maybe in the NASDAQ as well, I think Lyft could be a good one southbound.
So just to give you guys an update, we hit the siren there. Our out is going to be 86.40. So watch out. That almost hit there on that one. And the other reason to hit the siren is that, Neil, guess what we missed here? NIO, we joked about it the other week. And I remember in the summer when I was took the 1 week off to go camping and up to a cottage, I guess. And NIO was at 15 or 16. And I told Brendan on Monday it would be at 20. I think Brendan remembers that day. And then it was at 20 back in the summer. And now you're up to $45 here on NIO. So 76. It's just taking out levels, man. It's just, this stock is just blasting to the north side here. I mean, check out the daily chart. Just, well, if it rips, if it goes, I don't. There, I mean, bang, all the way to the high side there. So NIO, man, watch out. I'm going to go long, breaking through 45. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a reason not to. When I tried to break on NIO, it was in and out, flushed. I was in like 5 stocks at once and said, you know what, forget it. If it's not going to immediately go, I'm just going to take it out. That was a mistake, because obviously it would have run in the money. It just feels like you could have just held anything you believed in today. It doesn't matter. It would have worked. Brandon, what's up?
A little headline on Zoom just coming across there, guys. There was an FTC investigation that was underway into some of the security measures Zoom uses in case they needed more negative catalyst today. FTC coming out saying they require Zoom to further enhance their security practices as part of this settlement. So Zoom still 16%, kind of holding here around that 420, guys.
Okay, guys, and look, the other thing is, and what is not, we don't have to worry anything about AMD as we go back to the high side there today. So we will watch out for Zoom. We are going to take NIO through 45. We did talk about that already. CCL now coming back down. We only have that 10%. It's going to break through VWAP. So 18.59 here. We'll get out of our last 10% here on CCL. Long at 52s, but 18.59. We went down as low as 64. Give it a little bit of slippage there. We'll take 7 cents on the last bit if that is one that wants to go for us. But wowzers, man. AMD now taking out the top. $87 now. AMD still making moves to the high side. Tesla as well, back to 450. We talked about that. That has a 500 peg on it, that's for sure. So Tesla going crazy. Everything today, man, just going nuts, man. Uber's like at $50. This is nuts, Neil.
Yeah, I mean, Uber made another push to the upside, and I just took off for flat the last of the lift. So I thought it was going to be the short that I should hang on to there in lift, and then not the Uber long. Both are going to be positive for me, but it'll still be the wrong decision. I'm just now watching Boeing trying to slide back in here. Look, if it takes out 175, 176 here, it could retest the opening range low at 173. If that gets broken, I'm a buyer on Boeing between 167 and 170, somewhere in that range if it wants to slow down. But it looks like it's trying to come back here. I'll wait patiently for that long. Brennan, what's up?
Just double checking on Beyond Meat. Don't actually see anything here, but big spike down. This thing actually gapped, it looks like, to the downside. Now down 2% for Beyond Meat. Look at the volume coming in here. We'll keep an eye on BYND, guys.
Of course, they report tonight, but obviously there's something going on with Beyond Meat. And where are we going into here? Because there's plenty of room till you get any real support. So 140 could come into play, but you got to make sure. I'm not going to trade this one blind. I was just talking about the earnings, and then all of a sudden you get a $10 drop on volume. You got to know something is up, and I'm not trading this one blind. No way, no how.
Roku, like all these big names, guys, the ones that we absolutely crushed lately, like Roku's down 11% today, guys. What's that be?
Might be, nothing confirmed yet, but might be McDonald's developing their own plant-based products, guys. So I just saw that real quick. So might be, nothing confirmed yet, McDonald's developing their own plant-based stuff.
Where's McDonald's? McDonald's hasn't moved on that?
No. I mean, McDonald's had earnings as well.
Yeah, I mean-
The thing is, like today, I don't know. Like all these news stories, they're all great, they're all fantastic, but good look there, and that's why we have Brendan. I mean, you can't, like Neil said, you have to stick with news, or don't get caught up in a trade and you don't know everything. So we'll wait on McDonald's. But Neil did say one thing that really grabbed my attention, and I think there's no truer thing. He said that if you believe in something, that's what you got to trade, and that's what you should hold, right? This is why Palantir continues to be a top stock of mine every single day. As we go ACB, one, in and out. I mean, this is two ends, but winner. AMD, we can't talk enough about how much we won on that one. CCL, big winner for us today as well. Disney, right there. Bitcoin, trading some GBTC. Hertz in there as well. Palantir in as well. And Weed. We go 6 for 6 today, guys. Included everything. So it's been a big monster day for us. We're at 0 LFT. Let's just keep on going. Watch out for Disney. In here, 140. I just wish I was at my desk. I can't get out of the accounts that, are my long-term accounts because we're sitting here trading. But you could see big moves down. I called all of this, guys. I just wish I still had a short on somewhere for you.
I just tried it. I just tried my hand at getting this one. Look, obviously, I'm gonna miss Beyond Meat because I talked about not trading blind, so I knew exactly what the headline was going to be. I can go ahead and probably cancel this order. I just tried to get 151s. Sure, I was fine. I was looking at this level from last week, this 152 to 153. It just pulled back in. When it rolled back downside, I now knew what the news was and was trying to short that. It looks like 150 is going to go, like I said, 140, plausible direction for Beyond Meat to get to. McDonald's not moving too much off of this, but if it does make a bit of a level in terms of a hold, I'd like to play it. It looks like we might actually halt here on Beyond Meat at some point to this little downside trade. And I don't want to get caught in a halt, but it is like 152 to 153 that I think will be that key price area in the event that here it is. A trade halt there on Beyond Meat. I'm going to guess this is a volatility halt because it just went 10% to the downside. I had just tried to short at 152, but again, I'd rather wait for the news to come and be sure about it than trade blind. Sure, it would have worked out, but that doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Almost time for Sec to watch, not quite. I'll be there in a quick second. No, we are ready. Let's go to Brendan at the big screen for Sec to watch.
Just double checking on that McDonald's story, guys. There is actually a confirmed report now that they're going to make a McPlant product, McDonald's. Yeah, my board didn't zoom in. There we go. Very positive, obviously, right across the board here. There are individual names here, though, kind of lagging the overall market. I just noticed as well when I was over there, both FedEx and UPS, we didn't mention, obviously benefiting as well from everyone staying at home, ordering more things online. FedEx down 7.8%, UPS 5% to the downside. Over in the pharmaceutical group here, Biogen, the big one, 30% mover to the downside. Basically everything else, either kind of break even or very much higher. HOLX down 11%. There was news on that one as well. But this group, healthcare stocks and some of the industrial, my board just died. Some of the industrial groups or stocks, individual stocks, were in negative territory. If you can kind of see, nah, not really. Banks over here and consumer discretionary stocks easily leading the market to the upside. I'm going to go restart this thing, guys. Back over to you.
Black hole there, Brendan. So we'll just put, we'll say missed the boat there on the technology, missing the boat. But coming up after, in only 10 minutes, we'll get the board reloaded there. Okay, so the thing about Beyond Meat is, guys, I don't know this to be bad news. I don't know how much they sold in McDonald's, period. McDonald's doesn't do direct to consumers, so I don't understand why Beyond Meat gets spanked like this. This does not make any sense to me. Just because Big Mac is into the beef game doesn't mean that hamburger sales are falling off the earth there. You got to watch out now for this. I believe there's retracement back up, but the pullback makes sense, man. Beyond Meat, I'm still a shareholder back at the IPO price, but Beyond Meat, I'm a big believer in it, and I think they have first movement. And it's just the only thing is, I do not know how much, what percentage of their sales relies on anything to do with McDonald's. I know they did have a test there, so I'm going to say this McDonald's just validifies the space. So I like this news for Beyond Meat.
Yeah, I'm assuming, I actually made an assumption that it's a volatility halt, and that you should never really do that, but you can always go to NASDAQtrader.com just to check here, and it is like limit up here. So it is, well, sorry, limit down, I should say. It is a volatility hall. Beyond Meat will open back up in about 3 minutes or so. Always important to know what's going on. Had that been news pending, the news is already out, but then we would not know exactly when it's going to open. I want to take you guys back to ONTC, and obviously I mixed results. Won an initial short, lost on the last two, but it tests this 630 price to the top. And if this breaks, let's go over the daily chart here. If this breaks, it's going to get rather ugly, both pre-market high. Also, on the daily, if you go back far enough, the next significant level is going to be this 630, and then from there it could get to $8. So this is one it's a setup I have to take. So even though I'm down on this stock, I'm going to take this one. It's trying to consolidate below the 630 price. If it breaks through the high, walk away because I think it's going to test that $8 and maybe even worth a long break at that point. But I'm now back short. It's 613 is my average price. This one, if it takes out the high, you just got to walk away, and I'll be 1 for 4 on the name. But I think it could get to 5, which was that key support level that I tried to battle with before.
Like you say, 1 for 4?
If
it's not Hall of Fame stuff, right? You keep saying 1 for 3 in baseball. What was Ichiro's lifetime? Was he like 350, or what did Ichiro?
You know what? Usually I know these kind of things, but Ichiro,
I thought you would.
If I had to guess, I'd say he was about a 320, but that would have been over here. Obviously, you include his entire career, he'd be like a 330 hitter.
Leader, right?
Yeah, exactly. He was ridiculous in Japan. He was better in Japan than he was here.
Yeah. He was younger, right?
Well, I say here, but the U.S.
He played until like 40. Something. So yeah. Okay, Neo guys, a big pullback there. We were looking at 45. I did put the order in to go long at 45. Now I'm wondering if this pullback is due for an attempt here at a long. So we could watch out for that one as well. What is this? 44.67. So a little 44.67 break. Let's go long on Neo. I do like that one. Here it comes right now. Neo, there it is. 44.67. We'll look to get long here and take it long now. 40.68s. There. We're going to give it back to this little bottom. Small trade. But 44.14 will hold out to see if it can take that out. We're going to go long now and see if Neo wants to hold it. Instantly in the money, 7 or 8 pennies. But we're looking for more here on Neo, guys.
Yeah, and it looks like there is a bit of a buy coming, and I've been trying to tell you guys that each level that I see buyers on the SNDL, even though I've been net short. And once again, 40 does hold. It's headed back up towards my last entry at 46. I'm going to be I always try to catch it on the way down, so I'd rather see it consolidate first. Or sort of go a quick rollover, hard rejection at any price level before I take any more shares. So I'm going to stick to that. I'm not going to just layer orders on the way up, shorting into it. It's been easy enough to get liquidity. It's on 360 million shares, so if you can't get into position on this one, get a new broker.
Back up, yeah, exactly. Look, guys, we're just trying to make that money for you and make the right calls here. It's a very, very tough market, that's for sure. We don't I'm not trying to throw shade on anybody that's been long versus short, or our positions versus or not. But this is a tough market, guys. So please be very, very patient with your orders. Make sure you got the right ones in there, and don't make any keystroke errors, guys.
Yeah, and what did I say? 152, 153 on Beyond Meat. Opens back up, gets to 151.84, and now $10 down. So it feels like price discovery is still happening here. If there's going to be a break to the upside, I think if you remain bullish, I know it's not going to look like anything on the 1-minute chart, but trust me when I tell you 152, 153 was an interesting turnaround here when I was watching the level 2. So if it does hold up and try to break back above this price, we could get a nice little trade through to the upside through 152, 153. That's the key level I'm watching. I know sometimes charts are deceiving. We got a level 2 to watch. Take advantage of the fact that we're giving you live looks. ONCT, like I said, if I can go 1 for 4, it'll be okay. Oh, maybe it won't be. We'll see what happens. But now back below $6. I got $6.13. I want to see if I can add. I think this one gets back down to $5. This is the hard top. I find a level that's also on the daily chart on that name.
I see a lot of people wanting Beyond Meat to go back up. And yeah, I think that's, look, guys, I think that's a play. I think that's in play. So you can watch for Beyond Meat to go back up here. What is not right now going back up, though, unfortunately for yours truly, looks to be Neo. We're going to get out of this one. Oh, there it is. So we're out of that one. So a loser there. That's our first real loser. So we will look like this and say maybe we're a little bit, in the weeds here and psychedelic on this play with that for Neo. But we do lose on that one. So whatever. We're going to lose every once in a while. So that's that one. Loss right there in 64 outs 14s. Loser there on NEO. We hit that marijuana thing there. Where's CGC? Oh, I don't even have it on here. CGC, it's because I traded the Canadian one. CGC now making a move again. They broke back through VWAP. I see some people talking about it. Go CGC, go. Look, it doesn't trade great in the middle of the day. We've talked about that a couple times. So I would just say watch out for your CGC. If you're in the money now and you have it down here somewhere, you may just want to get out. This is all on fluff, remember. We are just thinking that obviously with the Democratic win here, they could possibly sweep and take over even the Senate. We talked about that as well. So if that does happen, then this name goes parabolic. But for right now, I think you got to take some profits, Brendan.
Just reading a little more, guys, about this Beyond Meat McDonald's story. As far as the Canadian side of things goes, if you remember back in June, it was when McDonald's announced that they were ending their trial in Canada for Beyond Meat products in their stores in Canada. Prior to that, when this initial deal was announced, it was said that Beyond Meat was going to increase their footprint in the Canadian marketplace by as much as 74% by entering McDonald's. So this is just a news headline from, you can't see that, I'll shift it over here. This is just a news headline from the day that it was announced. So Beyond Meat was actually down 10% when McDonald's announced they were pulling out of just Canada. So this would essentially imply that McDonald's Beyond Meat ending ties altogether, it would seem, guys.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what it goes without saying. I mean, it's trying to find a bit of a. It was just trying to find a bit of a bottom, and it bounced in. It didn't quite get through that 150. So no look at that 152, 153 area. I'll continue to sort of hunt for Beyond Meat. If it does make a retracement upside, I feel like it's going to be that 153 price that you'll be a little bit more certain about. I don't know how this happened, but have not even once mentioned Biogen today. Maybe one of the wildest stocks, if you want to go back into last week's action. Yeah, look at the daily chart. This is what happened when their Alzheimer's drug had positive speculation as to what would come out of the FDA there. It made a $120 move to the upside. They just came through, and it is not effective. That was the latest news. I was looking to see if I could fade this one off of 240. It looks like this one a little bit more stable than I was anticipating, and I apologize for that little wick there. But that 240 level that I was going to fade off of, it's come and gone. That opportunity is not there. If there is a retracement back to the upside, yeah, 240 looks like it's going to be the one. So watch for a potential break on Biogen. Maybe not today, or maybe in the afternoon. But I'll be watching this at that 240 price. If it does have any upside juice, I think you're short in front of it as a short-term trader, and then potentially not really much of a fundamental long break, but more of like a scalp break if you're a day trader. I like that price, 240 on Biogen.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, good look on that. We did not talk about Biogen today. Okay, I'm trying this until one more time here. 43.70, if it breaks, we'll get out of NEO. We just did try a little bit of a bottom pick here and see if it's going to work out for us on this drop. But I am noticing right here the NASDAQ coming back in. My kid just messaged me and goes, what's his plan? Because he already bought Apple low. And I just said, watch out, man. You got to watch out below here on some of these names today as tech is coming out a little bit. So I think if you have any profits on some of these names, you got to get out. Wow, look at NEO, guys. I mean, bang, bang. Yes, sir. We go from red to positive right there on that stock. We just took some out right there. 25-cent win on NEO, long 984 there, or whatever it was, out 10s. I think it was 25 cents. We'll check out how much we just took out on that one, but a nice little win there on NEO, making some of that money back on a bottom pick long here. Let's see if the futures can hold up.
Yeah, and speaking of hold up, once again, here comes another test in Beyond Meat, and I feel like I look at that halt price and it's like that 152. I think the lower end of the range, which is 152 instead of 153, might have to be the play. So I'm going to look at that level. If we roll from there, roll over from there, we can take a quick short with that stop, or just break out into the long. I don't really care which direction I trade it as a day trader. So I'm looking at 152 even if it breaks up. I think it's an obvious scalp. We can get back to like at least like 155. And if it cannot bust through, it's going to be a short. So you might see me quickly into a short position and then reversing into a long. That's why I just gave you a bit of an explanation there.
Okay, yeah, we're still looking to do everything here as well. Okay, so NEO right now, 32 cents in the money. Boom, a big one as we run the money through the Gladiator this time to the upside here and just run this stock. We're long at 88s here, 92s. It's all the way up to 24, so making that money back on this name, CCL. My favorite segment here. Let's find out what's going on. I'm trying to trade Bitcoin, not doing much. Let's find out what's going on here with Money Talks.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at currency world. It's been an exciting one in foreign exchange land today as well. Strength coming back into the U.S. dollar following the announcement of the winner of the election on Saturday, or presumptive winner of the election on Saturday. The euro here down as a result, 0.4%, 118.2. Look at the Canadian dollar though, another 0.6% to the upside, 77 cents now for the CAD. British pound here, 131.3, down slightly. It was actually more than that earlier, but coming back in a little bit. You can see both Japanese yen and Swiss franc. Look at the moves on this. 2% for the yen, 1.25% to the upside for the Swiss franc. Bit of a volatility play. Volatility in the equity markets coming back in. Both the Australian dollar and New Zealand higher on positive data out of Australia overnight. And cryptos are down today, but overall not significantly. Bitcoin 3.25%. 1.6% for Ethereum. Just threw the Canadian dollar up there on the chart because we're in recent high territories. Surpassed the 76.9 last little high here on this hourly chart. So up to 77.25 for the CAD. Guys, back to you.
I'm going to pound the table because I just missed that rollover on Beyond Meat. It gave you the shot, and I talked about going into the short quickly there. It just turned down below 150, so it does make the turn as anticipated, but I couldn't find liquidity to be able to get into a short. The ONCT is rolling over, and look, I got to take some profit off here. I got a quarter of the position out just in case this 560, my initial out on my third short trade. That was at key level. It did have some consolidation. So if it fails to break through and makes another run at the high, you got to take something out. I'm going to make it muted because this is the bigger level here. That 630 was also a level on the daily chart in addition to the pre-market high. I think if we crack down, next target is down to 5 even. I'm not saying it gets to $4 again today, but if we can hold lower, maybe I can work into something below VWAP for the afternoon. Might have finally cracked this one, but again, I'll still only be shooting 50%, which is not even a good completion percentage unless you play football in like the 1950s, guys.
Yeah, or for the Jets or something.
Well, that's not even, that ain't right, man.
Yeah, we'll see today. Cam Newton and the New England Patriots.
I need 30 points out of Cam Newton or I'm going 0-2 this week.
I'm already 1-1. We'll see. Okay, Neil and I have been in a football pool, I think, for 20 years. We'll find the exact date and get back to you on that one tomorrow. 44.55 here. Neil with a big win, man. 47 cents in the money. So just like a pizza pie, we're juicing this one upside here as it goes. There it is. To you too, my friend. Okay, nice little long here on Neo going upside right here. We're going to watch it and see what's happening. We do have Hertz right now. It's not doing a hell of a lot. You can see we were trading it early. We've kind of slowed down a little bit on Hertz GQ. That's the new one moving over there to the pink sheets. Checking back in on Neo. That's the long that we have right now, 65 cents. Let's see if it takes out the day's high, man. If we can make this back on this dollar winner, we'll do that.
Yeah, and just always alert to this one if it comes back up. I still have some SNDL. It's about to make a test of this 50 area for the first time. This is a real test of that level. I still actually have shares at 46.5. We're still in about 20% of the position. I'll just take it out if it breaks 50 and look for a re-entry point. I loved 60 to 63 before, so if there's a break up, I'll just get out. I am still looking to still hold a net short overall in this name, but I'm not going to fight what looks like the first bottom, double bottom at 40 even. I try to give you guys updates in this one, and I'm not going long this stock today. You want to go long in cannabis, ask Sean. I'll be shorting this name every chance I get and just sticking to one direction. It doesn't mean that there wasn't a long when I identified that double bottom. It's just that it's easier for me in an active name to have a bit of a bias, and I feel like it's going to be the short here.
Yeah, Batman. I can always give opinions, but yeah, right now I'm not super into any of these plays right this second on the marijuana side of things. So Neil's covering that for you in a good one. We haven't traded much Microsoft today. I did talk about Roku and what that was doing. Look, I mean, the rhetoric right now, I believe, is around tech stocks because you got to watch out. They were leading the way on the way up, so that's why I'm very, very nervous here about some of these positions. Like, I know we're long Microsoft in the 200s. I want to give a big shout out to, I see you here. I haven't seen you in a long time, and I was actually just talking with Brendan about this, I think. Where's Elizabeth Miller? There you are. What's up, Elizabeth Miller? I know you remember her, Neil.
Yeah.
Oh, God. She was just there. She is. Hey, what's up, Elizabeth? Again, one of our favorite guest traders of the day. I hope all the animals there on the farm are doing well. And we'll hope to hear back from Elizabeth Miller. If she wants to call in, she can call in. She had some good plays on NBR and some of the oil patch names. So we'll see about that one. Elizabeth, let me know. Email the contact you have if you want to come in soon for the show. What's up, Brendan?
Peloton here, guys, just breaking back through this little consolidation. We had a little level there, 106.50, I guess it was, just got taken out. Volume coming back into Peloton, still down on the day, but another one trying to head back to the upside, guys.
Get in there and sell, Mortimer, sell. Finally, ONCT goes to the downside. And look, I'll make sure you guys know this over and over again. When you get there's two trades that I should have heavier shares on. It's going to be the pre-market trade. Did that. It's going to be when you find a level on the daily chart that you like as well, which is 630 and then failure at that price. Did that. If there was a mistake, it was that I was using the same amount of size in the short in the middle. You shouldn't do that. This should be, if I take the short in the middle, it should always be for like a third or half, but instead, I was basically going in the same way on all four of my shorts in ONCT, and that's going to be the problem. You have to make sure that you know what is your higher probability trade. If the rollover goes here, I always like these ones on the open, and I like the one where you can find multiple time frames where it works. That's what we work with on ONCT. I did get one last reload in front of 50 on SNDL, and every time it tries to fail, I'll take another shot at it. So 47 is my average price. Thank you, Mr. Willie Man. There, AMC was fantastic.
Yes.
I still actually am holding some of it, and I should probably go check it out on what it's doing, but it's just basically been sitting in the money for me, so I've been ignoring it. But Dave & Buster's here, 37%. I mean, it went up low to 28, missed a bit of a rollover as well on this name. But if this trends below VWAP, I'll probably try shorting this too. I just feel like there's so many of these plays today. If you took any single one of them and focused on that one stock, I think you'd be fine. We're trying to give as much as we can to you guys because that's what we do around here. But certainly some missed opportunities, and I feel like Dave & Buster's was obviously one. If you look at this break at 24 even, pre-market high, even dollar, and it gives you like 15%. Wow. I mean, there's just opportunity abound here, Sean.
Yeah, I did, and again, I know you said this already, Neil, but I do want to give a big love and shout out to all of our viewers because today apparently we're getting notes here that we did hit record high viewers. So congratulations, well, thank you to everybody, and congratulations to all the viewers here. We wouldn't be here without you. We did drink the VOV last couple weeks ago when we did hit 100,000 subscribers. So let's get going on that one, and next goal, double that at least. We're not going to celebrate 150. That's not even really an accomplishment. Let's go to 200 or maybe 250. Will be coming up very, very soon. Look, coming up in about less than, let's call it 45 minutes or so, we do have a big interview for you. If you're looking to invest, why not find out a little bit more about Arbor Metals? We'll talk about that stock in a bit, but Brendan's coming back with CEO and Mr. Everything. Alex Klenman from Arbor Metals coming through, so that should be a good interview. We are looking forward to that. And then also, we talk about education, and I'm just like, timing, does it really matter? I'm not sure, but there it is, timing matters. That is kind of a blue shirt, looks purple there. I actually like that purple shirt. Trading time of day matters, 11:55. If you want to know what we mean by that, check it out at 11:55. We'll be dropping that on our stock market wisdom page.
That looks pretty blue to me. I mean, I don't see any purple. I mean, I don't know.
All right. I'm looking at it at a bad TV.
Yeah, my program monitor, just so I can see what's going on for you guys, the review. Either way, mine is like a really tiny one, but it looks like a nice blue shirt. I like it. Obviously, we like blue around here. But we also like to update you guys on what's going on in the European markets, which I'm assuming are all to the upside. Let's go to Valeria at the big screen.
Thank you, Neil, and hey guys, Europe is in a very positive territory today. Spain is up 8.47%, France is up 7.5%, Germany is up 5.13%, and Britain is up 5.13% also. Rolls-Royce is a huge mover today, up more than 49%. That's all with Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
Yes, we like you back here. Thank you, Valeria. Sorry, I think we're just getting some orders in on a few things here. The reason what I was looking at here was NEO actually, guys, goes the other way here and comes back to the downside. And now I'm kind of like nervous about, could we retest that bottom? So I'm debating right now. Watch these futures. I'm thinking to take a smooth dollar might be the right play here. We're long at 90. Well, I mean, a smooth dollar would be all the way up here, so maybe even less than that. Maybe 60 or 70 cents. 44.60 for NEO, a new target spot there.
Yeah, and don't stop believing. Just short some of these. Look, I mean, Sundial, it just feels like this was too easy of a play. And like, I actually thought that there was going to be a bit of a run through that 50 area. I waited for it to turn. It did. I got back in at 47, and then once again, we're just rinse and repeating the same thing. If it gets down to 40 even, I'll do the same thing I did before. I'll let you guys know what I feel about the buyer down there. If I think it's going to break, I'm definitely going to be hanging on to something. It's just a question of how much of my position it's going to be. Usually, it's about 10 to 20% or so for the bigger flush, which could get you into those mid-30s that I talked about. But been tapering off a little bit because it is lunchtime or getting close to that lunchtime hour. As far as ONCT goes, like I said, it was running into a bit of a consolidation area from before, but hey, we're now below it. So once it gets this hold around this 540 to 550, below that 560 mark, I'll go ahead and take another quarter of my position off. Now only holding half, and if it wants to break down here, get that bit out of there. If it wants to break down here, I'm going to get out another quarter between 5 and 5. 25, 530. If it breaks below 5 even, then thankfully we will finally slay this dragon. It's not over yet with ONCT, but I'll say this time and time again, and it deserves repeating. If you have a level that you like a lot more confidently on a higher time frame, maybe also pre-market highs, but also on the daily chart, that's the one where you dig in on. You wait patiently for it. You don't jump in too heavily before it. You gotta wait for your price, and that's the price that you go ham, or whatever the kids like to say these days. That was at 630. That's what I should have waited for instead of taking 4 shots all for the same size.
Yeah, they like to say ham, I think, going ham. Or my kids like to go, Dad, you're acting sus. So if you know what
that's from our days. That's not.
Put that. No, it's from our days. It's from these days. Trust me. It is from our days as well. But watch the chat. What goes on here? If you guys know what that's from, red is always sus. So you guys can find out for that. Put that there, and you'll see what we're talking about. My kids going crazy. On that note, Unity is big into the game that we're talking about here. Sorry, I shouldn't have put it. See, now everyone's laughing. There you go, guys. I knew that would happen. Okay, Unity upside here in that game, and the game is look at the chat. Among Us. Yeah, so that's the most popular game. Neil, I don't expect you to know it.
What is? I have no idea what that is.
But I know. I don't really either. My kids keep trying to tell me. And all I have to say is if you are red, you are sus in that one. So watch out. Anyways, that's the chat. Welcome to the show, guys. This is what we do. Trying to make you guys laugh, keeping it social, keeping it up, keeping it into new things. We don't talk politics, though. But the market is sure talking politics today, as we seem to have a little bit of resilience here in the market. I was really happy. The NASDAQ's still holding high. I thought we could turn negative here. Let's check out what the ES is doing today. ES still, wow, actually pulled back half. I didn't realize we were actually that far back. So no, it's not holding up as well as I thought here. The market pulled back way back. We were up 5%, weren't we at one point?
The ES was just shy of, maybe it didn't get quite to 5, but it was certainly pretty darn close to it. I see people asking still about Beyond Meat here, and I haven't changed my mind. I'm looking at one thing and one thing alone. It's this 152 to 153 area. Because of the reopen on the halt, that was 151.80. I'll just go with the 152, and if it breaks above, I think it's found a bit of a bottom, and you can take it long there. Otherwise, I'll be hands off until we retest, downward towards this 140 area. I don't want to play it in the middle. I missed my chance at the rollover trade short. I told you about that in front of 152, and I couldn't get into position. And that obviously already would have been a nice winner. The last thing you want to do when you miss a good trade is just chase too far, overtrade, get that FOMO action. Not going to happen for me. If we get back up to my price area, I can try the same thing. It will be definitely less size for sure in the short, and then looking for maybe a bit of a long break off that same 152 level, which I did miss, candidly speaking. I tried to get it on Beyond Short. Couldn't do it, guys.
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking Neil might be the imposter, guys. So we're going to find out about that. We'll see if we saw him venting. If you guys, again, more talk
I don't know what the heck. This is the problem.
More talk about stupid Among Us. Don't worry, Neil. The imposter is not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually the thing that my kids always want to be.
The problem is you're making me Google all this on the side while I'm trading because I have no idea what's going on.
Neil's very suspect right now. What's up, Brandon?
Initial weakness, guys, on this one. Roku, we didn't get to this one this morning, but initial weakness down to 225, but just straight higher here. Coming up to a significant level from the pre-market on Roku. Still down, though, 7% on the day, guys.
Yeah, so anyways, I can't be Googling all this stuff.
I'll
figure out what it is.
Everybody on the chat knows what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm sure that, look, obviously, I'm not into gaming because I'm an old head.
It's just fun,
you know how it is. Yeah, so what did I talk about? You know what? I love you guys in the chat for this. Thank you very much because someone mentioned Disney coming to that 138.50 area. Yes, I love it when this happens, but I was looking at this price range. Now, for those of you guys that know dip buying and bottom picking, for me, I'm never just going to sit there and just have a random order at this time of day. Had it flushed off the open into that price, fair enough. You might want to step in front of that freight train and buy it. But this is consolidation bottom on Disney. So if we bounce back up above this 138.50, a couple of things you can do is one, long, give it to the low of the day, which happens to be 138. That's one way to do it. That's the way I'm going to choose to here. So thank you very much for the assist. Bottom picking on Disney, which is what I wanted to do. But remember, the market's rolling over here. Yeah. And if we do head southbound, it's a tight stop that I want to have. You want to give yourself only about 50 or 60 cents because sometimes the risk to reward of like 5 to 1, 10 to 1 is worth the shot, especially when you already like that price. That's why I'm going in here in Disney. It's going to be a tight stop, however. And I do believe I saw, did I really just see 2,000 likes?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's because we are going to have an emergency meeting soon, guys. So join us in there. We'll find out what's going on with Among Us. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I'll keep trying to come with some kind of trading value and comedic value as we go. So if you like that one, join us every single day. Look, we're doing things differently than every other show. We're making live real trades. Like we've been trading now for 2 hours. We're going to go till 12 o'clock. So we stay here. We're keeping it real with you guys all day and trying to keep it light and fun. And I hope you're enjoying the show. And, you know, again, follow me. You'll see more of me on Twitter and whatnot. You can follow there for some of that talk. But Neo still going high side. I want to make a trade for you guys.
I'll recap a couple of things here.
Go.
We're going to continue to hammer this one. You need to upgrade that one. You need to like slam it a little harder than that. It's like tapping at that wood. We're going to tap it in on sundial here.
Yeah, tap
44, it just tried to break through. It did actually just break through, so reload at 47, halfway towards that 40 target. Again, that's just been a little bit of resistance. We'll continue to flush that one. Disney's starting to bounce back to the upside, and you know, I love when we have these levels that we can play off of. This was sort of, I don't want to say easy peasies, but you know, thank you to whoever completely reminded me. Too many stocks I'm trading today. That was one I had written down. It was 138.50 was what I liked. We're getting the bounce. This is one that can give you like anywhere from like a $3 to $5 retracement, and what can end up being like 50 cents worth of risk, which is golden for a scalp trader. Because I'm only risking 50 cents, I am gonna take some profit on the way up, guys. I'm looking for a 140 break. I'll take half out on the way to VWAP. Let's get it over to my friend Brendan at the desk.
Yeah, I just noticed some of the airlines starting to find maybe a little bit of a bottom here as well. Just been kind of grinding to the downside all morning long on UAL here, but volume coming in around this 39.26 in front of 39, which is really just the start of the top end of the range here on the daily chart, guys.
And it keep going. We'll go with Bullseye. Thank you very much. Look, ONCT, not TC. Another break to the downside. I talked about having some orders on the way to 5 even. I'll still have a quarter of this position left. If we break 5, if we do that, I think we get to that magical number that you guys all love, and which is 420, of course. So if we break 5 even, I'll only have a quarter of this position left. It looks like we finally cracked this one. If it holds, if it does hold below VWAP, this could be something that you short maybe into the lunchtime or throughout the afternoon. I will say this though: if it has not broken 5 by about 1:30 and the volume is still churning around, this would be a candidate for an afternoon break to the upside, so I would look to take a few more shares off. So as much as I think it can break 5 and go further than this, the longer it holds the consolidation above it, I'll have to walk away on a time basis. I don't want to still be in this one above $5 if it's holding this at like 2 o'clock or so. So that could be a bit of a break to the upside. We'll see what happens there. Disney back to only 50 cents in the money. It was almost $1 a couple of seconds ago. If it breaks 140, I'll take some out for a $2 win and see if we can't get that $4 to $6 on the rest. Brendan, what's up?
Another one of those type of stay-at-home kind of plays. Etsy here, I just noticed, trying to hold as well. 127.5, bit of an area on that last little push to the upside, but maybe support here for Etsy, still down 12.5%. Gets above 130, long way to go to where we were back on Friday, guys.
All right, guys, in Hydration Nation, I found that thing and I switched it over. So join the Hydration Nation. You always need to stay hydrated here, so we'll join that one. There's a Trader TV water jug there, and I cheated. I haven't drank this much today. I just started it. So what's up to everybody? You can join the club on the Hydration Nation and keep hitting that one as you go. Look, Neo's coming back down. We did get out of that one, so now we're flat on that loss on the last little bit. So we basically made that 50 cents and then lost that, what was that, 90? 12 cents. So yeah, in and out there. So made a little bit on the last but now you're seeing it bounce back upside. Watch out for these futures, man. I didn't realize that they were slipping that much. So you got to be very, very careful. I did talk about getting out of some of those and then was banging my head against the wall that I was not able to because AMD was up as high as 87 on some of that Tesla news, ripped that one to the high side before getting out. So now breaking back down through VWAP. I do not like some of the price actions here. I see some people talking about Palantir. Look, this is why I'm not on it, right? I'm going to trade and hit my goals early, hopefully, and just like you saw, destroy this one. It does go, wow, Palantir goes to 16. Holy crap. Now back down to 15. So this is like a big move. Like 16 down to 14.30, a buck 40 on a $15 name. So big moves happening all over the place, including XOM and some of the oil patch names. You guys might want to watch Oxy and things like that, but XOM now coming back down as well, got as high as 38, now down to 36. This is just like a crazy day. Some of these things are just going absolutely like parabolic off the open and then smooth operating right back to the downside. Like the best example I have is SPG. No idea this thing ran to $82. I'm actually checking on Fastly when we get back.
Yeah, and another name here, just to go back to CVX, and you can talk about any number of names that are going to show you this pattern, but ramp up off of 78. We're about to retest this price level, and it's just sort of worth noting if you aren't tracking crude, still holding around 41, but it has come back in rather heavily. So it's trying to hold it's trying to hold a bit of a bottom here, just below 41 a barrel. So if that does get a bit of a bounce, I think for me, Chevron definitely going to be the one to play. And I'm not in it yet. I did finally get that secondary entry into Disney, so I got the shares that I want here. Still have that 138 stop area, and then if it breaks up, now that I've got more, I'm willing to take some off in front of 140, and then some more in that 141 range, and then if it breaks up, the rest I would like in and around like 142 to 144. It's something that you can basically hold on to maybe if it wants to make a ramp into the afternoon. I just think as a day trader, there's going to be another play. If I can get out of it in towards that 143, 144, because there's always the chance to get back in on a breakout style afternoon play around that 144 even. So you can play it any way you want. You can either hold on to what you got down here, or you can do what we do as active traders, get out of one position, then look for another re-entry point off of a different level.
Here we go. I see you, Shob, here. Thank you. You've been on as guest trader of the day here. Drink your HGO. Keep those kidneys happy. Shob, yeah, you were on the show, and he's a doctor, so I'm going to keep doing that one. Thank you so much for the advice, and thank you to Mr. Wheelie Man for continuing to remind me of that as well. Bitcoin breaking a little bit here. We can talk about GBTC. I don't have anything on whatsoever. We were trying to short it, got out way too early. Now we're breaking back downside, $16. Just broke. So I did want to talk about that with you before. Not that we're ignoring Bitcoin, because we're not. We're trying to trade it a little bit, but we only have access to, well, we have access also to the Bitcoin futures. I've never traded those, so I'm going to try to stay away from the Bitcoin futures, but we do have access to that here at Day Trade the World. You can trade over 63 different markets, guys. Day Trade the World. Okay. Apple broke through VWAP and not really liking that one. AMD does come to the downside, so back to 85. Watch out for this little VWAP break. Let's look to see where VWAP is on a 3-minute chart again, guys. That's basically what we use, or what I use anyways. Yeah, it's getting close, 85.20. So VWAP is not all, it's great, but can't be your only indicator. I like to use it in coinciding with some of these different levels. So you can see right here, 85.08. I kind of like this level, 85.20, and that's where VWAP is. So I think if the futures get rolling again, I do like AMD here. We'll put an order to go long through 85.20, 85.21 or so here on AMD. Just thinking it might have made a bottom around 84.30. So this seems to be worth the risk here.
Yeah, and I want to come back to a name that I've woefully neglected here just a little bit, and I am still in position. Like I said, it's not really much in AMC, but you are starting to see it claw back to the upside. Disney just broke 139, and obviously if the long bottom pick in Disney is working, what should that tell you but another sort of recovery name here, AMC? It could be bouncing back above the VWAP here. So if it does do that, I'll just get out of the last, and as I mentioned, I really only have like 10%, and it'll still be a 10% win. Even if it breaks 385 here or so, I'll just be covering the last of it. Disney, not quite at the dollar win that I want for the first third, but when it gets there, I'll let you know. That little bounce play looking rather nicely. Brendan, what's up, bud?
Party City just starting to go once again. Another one that's set to benefit from this vaccine news today. $3 here. Prior resistance on the daily chart just getting taken out there on volume for PRTY, guys.
Ooh, Party City. Like, see, these are more names, guys. I mean, that makes sense to me, right? Like, as hopefully birthdays and vaccine. Look, a lot of this is on hope, right? And so that's great. I didn't even know that, Neil, that you said that, flu shot, 40 to 60% is pretty good. So 90 seems absolutely ridiculous on that Pfizer number. So, I'm very, very bullish now about a lot of these rebounded stocks like a Party City, guys.
Yeah, and you know what? I just saw a bit of a rollover turn kind of thing at 138.50, and anytime I see that, my target was to get out in front of 139.50. I'll just take it out for like a 70-cent win instead of a 90 to a $1 win. It's the first third, and I do want to still be buying dips in Disney in front of that 138, so I'll just get it because I think if it turns on me, I want to get that reload, guys. Brennan, what's up?
Another one trying to find a bottom here. BioNTech, BNTX, the other side of the Pfizer news, $100. Came into play a couple of times here. Looks to be holding through 102 now. Volume coming back into BNTX.
BioNTech. Okay. Good name there. And they're obviously piggybacking with Pfizer on what we were just talking about. So good little look there. We'll check back on BNTX. I haven't traded that yet today. So I did want to go back and do another name that we're looking at, CCL. Just kind of jumping here a little bit. We're on a 3-minute chart right now. So waiting to see if something wants to crack back above, and still waiting for our AMC. Or AMD, sorry, not AMC. Neil's on AMC today. 85.20, looking for that to break still.
And like I said, did take that little bit out on Disney. But Pfizer, I mean, Brendan just mentioned BioNTech finding a bit of a bottom. Pfizer back towards 40. I mean, I was one and done, and I told you guys, like, obviously there ended up being a little, like 50 cents, maybe 60 cents more, whatever you want to call it in that trade. But I wanted to take the profit and run. I had no sense of where Pfizer was actually going to turn around. I wasn't that confident in it. That's why I just got out of it and managed to miss this bottom pick. The problem here is double bottom at 38.70. Once that broke, it's going to be hard for me to get into that long low. But 40 even could be a bit of a turnaround pivot price here. So if it does break up, it's maybe worth a bit of a scalp trade. All I will say is this. Usually, Pfizer not the best day trading stock to have over lunchtime. I would think today might be the exception. Brendan, what's up?
Just noticing Beyond Meat, day lows once again through 142 now for Beyond Meat. McDonald's has confirmed this news that they're saying some markets by the end of this year will test their own plant-based products. So this is kind of October lows again on the daily chart for Beyond, guys.
I don't believe it. I mean, I believe the story. I just don't believe, obviously the story isn't truthful, but I don't believe that this is that bad news for Beyond Meat. Like I said, more work needed on this one before I recommend this as a long-term play. I know a lot of you guys looking to get some more long-term plays. I'm going to do some work. I can't just say something right now out of the blue. I have a few ideas, but I want to do some work. Today's been crazy. Like some of the levels that have hit on some of these stocks, like I would have got out of SPG easily there. I would have got out of some JP Morgan if you were long below. Well, actually, JP Morgan's right back, so I'm debating. I think this is a good out, man. We put the buys on this one at 94, 95, 96. Those of you that know that, I think you can get a 20% return in a month or less. I think that's great. I think some weed out is good. And I am worried a little bit, and as we go long AMD, I am worried a little bit about this call long at 76 up to 85. I still like it. I just think, again, we may be overheated on some of these tech names. So that's where I am on that one. But right now, into the money now, 20 cents on AMD. A good call here on AMD. Way in the money, 20 cents. You want a loud bang? Well, here it comes. Bang. We're not going to go loud on you guys. I know some of you want loud bangs, but we're not going to go too loud. And there goes AMD to the upside, guys. Good one.
Psych is what Sean just did there for you guys. I feel like there's one thing, for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, there's one thing you gotta, we try to do every single day, and we've been pretty successful with it, but I don't think we've let you guys know what, well, one time we did, Sean did it. Timing matters. I know every single, someone asked on the chat just a few seconds ago, a few minutes ago or so, what time frames we use on our charts here, and yeah, I use multiple different time frames. We'll change those throughout the day. I just mentioned to you lunchtime on Pfizer, a bit of a different story than in the mornings, certainly. You want to make sure you're trading not just stocks that work for you, but time frames that work for you and that are profitable for you guys. So check out this video on our Market Wisdom page. I think it's going to be a good one. Obviously, a lot of our action is during that during that morning hour, but we do have trades at lunch. We do have trades that we'll look at the close, and they're all a little bit different. So understand that different time frames can make a huge difference to your trading and adjust your styles accordingly. I think that's a good video for you guys to check. Speaking of the lunchtime hour, things are probably going to start to consolidate a little bit on this SNDL, guys. Obviously, there are bigger moves to be had from 50, all the way down to like 40. Is going to give you like 10, 15, 20% returns. Now I'm starting to get 5 and 10. That's what you should expect on a penny stock, guys. It's going to get really, really slow on this one. That doesn't mean you can't still work off that short. Right now, off of 50 is what I'm doing. But 40 does seem to be that double bottom, and you got to take profit off. And the longer I take this short trade, the smaller your gross profit is going to be each time. That's just the way I like to do it, because at some point, it makes a hard bottom, and it's going to try to start filling the gap back to the upside. Remember, this is all positive in the cannabis space, and that's what everyone else is looking at, guys. So I only short this one so far, but it eventually does turn into a bit of a buy if it holds that 40 even one more time, guys. I would be out of my shorts altogether, unless you get like a 2 or 3 o'clock last late little flush in power hour. But by then, I'll probably be very, very light on a name like this.
All right, looking for more and more names. Neil's traded Uber today. I have not. It's not doing anything right now as I look at it. Here's Uber, just to give you guys an idea. I'm looking at, that's Uber right. Oh, no, this is AMD. AMD now going, guys. Okay, AMD. Bang, bang. Still got on a third now. Out a third 42, out a third 56 now. We're long 22s. That last out, I didn't even see that come through. 30 penny winner on that one. So good little trade there. Wow, okay. So you did see some size following it up a little bit. It was only, it's gone now. It was only I think it was 800,000 or so following it up. That's not that much into 31 million, but we're really happy. Boom, there it is, backflip central. As we just continue to go, man, it's 11:23. Doesn't mean to hit stop. We just keep on coming to the upside right now. 40 cents now in the money goes this name, and that is AMD, not Uber. That's AMD, good trade. You can see that's what we have on right now. The only trade that's a 40 cents now in the money. Here's Uber. I wanted to look at it because, this is a 3-minute chart, guys, by the way. I want to look at Uber because of some of the news and what we were talking about today with that name. But yeah, already up that 8%. Did have huge moves up to $50 today. So yeah, watch out for some of these ones coming back in. I don't know, man. I may just stay light the rest of the day, but so far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, you can also do, one of the things we can do around this time is to start to think about what you like for the afternoon, what you like for power hour. Someone mentioned Peloton in the chat here, and you're going to get right to this 109 area where this is the flush that happened off the open. I mean, the selling was already in. The stock was at $125 on Friday, guys, so plenty of room in terms of a gap fill to still go. But this 109, if it breaks through and maybe fails to get past like 111.50, 112, like this entire, like that last hour going into the open, maybe in the last 2 hours going into the open. Look, I think there's a chance it could have a secondary push down, but it's like a $2 range that I wanted to test before I would jump into something like a Peloton. I'm just going to hang on to that Disney long, like I mentioned to you. Part of this, I am, of course, willing to scalp out of it like I have here for like a 70-cent win. If it goes up through 140, I'll go ahead and rip off like $1.50 to $2, somewhere in that range. And then hopefully we get all the way up into VWAP. And again, this was sort of that range-bound trade. And we talked about this in the pre-market when it was rolling back to the upside after bouncing off of 138.50 once. And I wanted to dip by down here. Thankfully, you've seen it happen and work out. Knock on some fake wood here for Disney that it continues to move, but it's safely in the money $1. I don't think we're in any trouble here just yet. ONCT, however, I mentioned this in the chat a couple of seconds ago. It's trying to make another push to the upside. I did get near the bottom wick on the last push down. I'm not really aggressively taking anything off in this range because, as you can see, I've already done that. If it breaks the bottom, I'll start getting some out between 5 and 525. That's the next target area. But if it breaks back up at 575, I think it's going to retest the top. I'll take my trade off because at that point, I'm looking to play off that 630 level again. That's my key price area. I want to make sure I have the ability to go back in, not go ham or anything because it's lunchtime, but I want to be able to go back in. It's been a nice trade. I think we've got the hammer down. If we break this 530 bottom, I think definitely a 5 even test at a bare minimum. And if it breaks that, we'll be back to positive on the stock. But we'll see what happens there. Shouldn't have had as much size as I did in the middle. Brennan, what's up?
Big mover end of the week last week after earnings. GoPro just popping up here. You can see decent move from 7. Held 7 there for most of the morning as support, but just ripped up to 740 on a big volume spike. So earnings were Thursday, I believe. Thursday aftermarket for GoPro, better than expected. Coming back into the 720 support, or what should be support, for GoPro, guys.
Very nice.
Forgot that.
Okay, AMD, we're still looking at Uber's not doing anything there. AMD still ripping to the high side there. GoPro, yeah, earnings there on Friday. good report upside. We're debating if anybody still has GoPros, but I guess if you are, into like athletics or like we were talking about, I think Rob has it still on his ATV, so things like that. Still some upside there for that. Okay, AMD now making move to the upside here. I did want to give a big thank you to the other Rob today that you will see soon coming up there with operations, and he's doing a great job on the board as Lucas is off this week. So thank you to the double Robs. We're being robbed here today by the double Robs. So thank you so much to both Robs coming through today and allowing for this show to run absolutely seamlessly, even though we are a man down. So thank you so much. I'll just say Rob S. We don't have to go into new names here, but thank you so much, Rob, for that one. And Rob M. also doing a great job today.
And look, you're seeing some interesting movement to the downside. Obviously, Brennan came with that news for McDonald's. It's actually getting sold off here, and it just got rather ugly on volume to that downside. So I'm not touching McDonald's here. Obviously, the only thing we looked at when the news came out was to watch Beyond Meat. And the second I didn't see that one, McDonald's even trying to buy or make any kind of a break to the upside, I'm like, it's not going up on that? Okay, well, then you don't have to touch it. I think the trade was the short side in Beyond Meat, which, of course, I talked about missing. At some point, though, too far is going to be too far in McDonald's. And you see this break that's happening at 210? Yeah, if we get anywhere near to this level, and I'm talking about this sort of a resistance top going back into June, and then a bit of a breakout happened at 202, buying 202 on McDonald's. I'm not saying it goes another $7 from here, but there's no way, no how on this news we're not going to be picking some up on McDonald's. You got 200 right there, so I like that level for sure. I'm not saying it gets there today, but it's starting to sell off, and you might want to have a plan as it gets a little bit lower.
All right, I have a plan long Beyond Meat. So right now, enough is enough. It takes out this little level here on the 3-minute chart. You can see this. Let's go long Beyond Meat right now, down 8%. I don't think this story, I told you, I thought this was, I don't know. I mean, I'm a bigger shareholder of McDonald's in my investment account than I sure as hell am of Beyond Meat in my swing account. But right here, guys, 143. We just took a long there on Beyond Meat. We're instantly in the money, 70 cents. So we'll hit a little bit of a backflip. I think we can get back up here, 147 and change. What is the very bottom here? 146.80. Look, if I can get 146.80, man, that'll be another $3 winner. And here we go. We're already in the money of dollars. So there we go. We'll spin that money around a little bit today. You just get into a position right there. And welcome to about $1 if you get hit on the ask. Obviously, the spread right now, 25 cents. So you need to take this out in order to make a nice little trade on that one. But here we go. Beyond Meat. Now we're in the money $1 as we're printing 145.30s right there. We're long 144.31. A nice little trade here on Beyond Meat. I'm going to give this all the way to the bottom here. And if we lose, we lose. It's not a huge position, but 141.20 there. 144, that's $3, $2. We'll have to figure out the ratio for this one, but it's $1. It was $1 in the money there on Beyond Meat. This is going to be a wild ride, guys. What's up, B?
Another one that was down significantly, trying to get back to the upside here, also going to be affected with this vaccine news, Grubhub. Yeah, 8.5% still for Grubhub, but just took out a high there, a recent pivot above 73 on a volume spike. So a lot of these names, kind of stay-at-home names, kind of grinding back to the upside now, guys.
Yeah, and grinding back to the upside, we'll go with, I got to hit Yeehaw because Brennan just talked, and yeah. It's an old joke that makes 0 sense. Brennan doesn't like country music. You can blame Rob for that one. But just got some out of Disney. It just broke 140. So we talked about this, and I can't get over this. I can't say this enough. Neither of us can say this enough. We had a watch list that's literally free for those of you that are tuning in and have not signed up for it. But we go over as many names we can. Today we're in overdrive, covering as many as possible. One of the things that was mentioned was Disney. I talked about a 138.50 if it dipped down there to buy it. Got a little bit of a scalp trade. Now the retracement is on. The futures, and I want to quickly go over to the ES just so you can see where we're headed here. 30 back to 3,600. So you see this little bottom, both on the way up. It was a bit of a pullback to 3,600. It was a dip in and buy off 3,600. Then some consolidation lower. If we hold above that price, that's where you start to think that Disney could sustain this move a little bit better, guys. But 2 ways I'll be out of this. If we've broken the low and Disney hasn't gone, I'm probably likely to just get out wherever it happens to be because the flush could be on and I've already taken my profit in Disney. But if we can hold this 36 even and start breaking higher, I can start to think about if we're breaking levels like 36.30 here, maybe canceling some of the offers I have and then ride Disney towards the high of the day. So I'm sort of willing to allow this last trade, this last little bit of my position on Disney to go even further than anticipated, guys. And if it wants to make a run past 145, fair enough. I'll let the futures be my guide.
Okay, thank you so much to Laura there on the chat. I do see that. We'll be calling that up in a quick little minute here as we go. Yeah, we just tried to go long Bitcoin there and lost on this GBTC. So in and out there, paid fees. That's why I hate this. Sometimes it's a little expensive to do that. We will watch out for that one. Other than that, I know Neil's on that Disney trade. Again, a nice little loop action there. Look for it to come back a little bit. We are waiting for AMD. And then you go now, Bitcoin. Unbelievable. We are waiting. I got everything's fine. I have a fruit here. We haven't done the fruit salad yet today, but grape there on there. Yeah, we're choking a little bit on the grapes as we go, which is fine. We'll come through that in a minute. AMD, we just got out there at 50. Neil, I got to take a drink of water.
Yeah, no worries, but no worries. We got you covered there. I do have to get back over to one name from a little bit earlier today, and if you don't know about AMC's movement today, I don't know what you've been watching. I talked about if Disney went in the money, the last of my AMC, I would be out of it. So there you go. It just broke 385. I still end up. I mean, my entries were up here all the way, rolling into it, starting at about 410, then rolling into this last bit at 435. So an average price of 425 is what I had. So you're still going to have a good return, but you can't fight these things too far. Obviously, the bottom came in at some point. I'm now going to be watching very, very closely because look at this first pullback that I missed. I stink at 410. If it can't get through this 410 area, I think AMC is going to still be a bit of a short that we can play off of. But 410, the new level you have to watch. It's putting in a very, very tight range here, 390 to 410, but the volume has picked up just a little bit, and we have to watch that. Disney's still holding above 140. It's about $1.50 in the money. We're going to hang on to that one for dear life. I also have to go back to this ONCT for you guys. Only about 27 minutes left in the show. I'm unlikely to put anything on that's new at this point, but I'm still going to maintain nothing. I'm not going to do anything with this position unless we break this bottom at 530 and have some orders to get out in front of 5 even, or we break about 570 to 575 to the upside. And the reason I will take off the short, despite the fact that it's well in the money, is that if it makes this break, I think why not just get a better price and pick up some shares at 610 or 6 to 610 like we did before. 630, of course, is that line in the sand. We showed you guys both on the 1 minute chart. I can show you the pre-market action. That was the high here. But also always make sure you're going back into a daily chart just to see where some of the bag holders are in the stock. And 630 was resistance. You go all the way back into last year, guys. So big level for 2 reasons on ONCT.
Yeah, bag holders reminds me of some of the crypto plays I have. But okay, AMD, we just talked about getting out there. The other thing here is Beyond Meat. We're going to give it back down to 142, a 143 break, 142 and change on that one. You can see the spread, man. It's 40 cents. It's 50 cents right now. So I'll probably get out of this one. This is not a good recipe for me. It tried to go. We were in the money, like we were saying, about $1 there as soon as we took it, and it's been staying upside high. But if it breaks below this 143 rate here, some of these questionable areas that we bounced off, we will get out. We're flat. I mean, we're long at 31. It's at 16 right now. So, I mean, a 15-cent hit on a $20 drop is not much. So let's hope to get a little bit more going here. I still like this Beyond Meat play, and I'm going to hold on to this one, not for dear life, but for a little bit here, back down to 143. We do like that one for sure coming up. So we'll wait to see on it. But thank you for all the likes. How many do we even have? I know we haven't really done that yet, but maybe we can throw to Valeria at some point and see if we get a little more likes going on here today. Thank you. Record day for viewers, guys. I hope you're having a big day. Follow us all on Twitter. We have a big guest coming up soon as well, and then we're back tomorrow. So we also have the stock. Oh, let me do that quickly. We also have the stock market wisdom page. In 20 minutes, you want to know all about market timing? There it is. Timing does matter. And then don't forget our guest in about 10 minutes coming up right now, Alice Klenman from Arbor Metals. We'll take it off and throw to Brendan. What's up, bud?
NAF, I just noticed here, another one from the retail group just making a day high. Some of the other ones not quite there yet. Nordstrom's one of those, but look at the move on ANF, Abercrombie here, just making a day high through that 1820 on a decent volume spike, guys.
Yeah, Abercrombie. Again, Neil mentioned the retailers there. I don't know, Neil, I don't know.
Brendan mentioned the retailers.
No, you mentioned, I think you were talking about Macy's at one point.
Yeah, here's the problem. And this actually happened when Brendan's preparing the watch list. Like literally there was so much moving and he yelled at us like, oh my gosh, I haven't even looked at the retailers yet. And I threw some down on my list. It's just, there's no possible way you're going to trade everything that is a good opportunity to. You just can't do it. I try to get as many as we can in there for you guys, but it is what it is, and you got to stick to what's working. And like obviously we've neglected a few names here today. I don't want to do it too much, but we talked about Boeing as well, Sean. And, you know, there was some dip buy opportunities in Boeing. But look, Disney, Boeing, you pick these up at the bottom. They're going to be basically the same thing. I just like the Disney level a little bit better, but it's the same thing that happened in Boeing around this 172 area. And I believe we were talking about this as well. So you pick your poison. If you try to play everything, you might end up with nothing. And that's one thing you got to consider here, guys. So I know there was a point in the morning I will stretch entirely too thin. I'm not going to make that same mistake. If Boeing does dip back down, you'd want to see it hold like 174 to 175. But either way, I've already dug into my Disney trade, and I like that one a little bit better. I don't want to forget about, I hate this little wick here on Biogen. I don't want to forget about this stock. Obviously, they got absolutely crushed when the FDA came through saying their Alzheimer's drug not effective. I can't pronounce this, so I'm not going to try. But 240 is the level I'll be watching, shorting in front of it all week if we ever get it, and then maybe a breakout long if it tries to fill the gap. I can't say it's going to happen, but that's the level I'll be watching on Biogen all week.
Okay, just seeing what you guys are talking about here on the chat, and I don't know about everything, Square, Cash App, things like that. I like PayPal, I like Square. We've talked about them over and over again for long-term plays, and I actually like Beyond Meat right now for a little scalp. I think if we could break through 145.41, like we're in the money again, 20 cents. Again, it's not relevant. I'm just talking about the position in case you guys have a little more shares than I do in this name. I don't have very many. I think that we've made a bottom here on Beyond Meat. Let's just see what happens here. If it can climb back upside. McDonald's going down. I don't think it has anything to do with this Beyond Meat, this plant talk here. McDonald's did make a move down, aggressive move to 207. Remember, they did report, right? So 91%, down 0.91%. Not huge here for McDonald's. I'm not too worried about this position, guys.
Yeah, and I see one of the things that you know, for those of you guys that are tuning in the first time, I know we have a lot of record viewers, and we love it when you guys shout out symbols to us so that we can have a quick look at them. Just on a day like today, like I saw someone asking about NLS. I haven't even looked at this at any point. I haven't looked at Nautilus, so I can't really give too much in depth. I'll have a quick look to see if I have any thoughts on it that'll be worth your while, guys. But certainly there's been so much activity that we've missed a few things. I'm going to get to lift just for a quick second here. And look, ultimately, you're going to see a bit of a bottom wick down here for my short trade. And then I did re-enter into it and then immediately got out of it. Now, I had a short and a long in Uber. And one of the things I told you about was I'm taking off my Uber long and I'm hanging on to the lift short because it feels right to me. I just like that look better. I can't dig in and be too stubborn about it because when Uber started to show too much strength, it looks like that was the right call. And Uber was just much stronger than anticipated. And Lyft as well, now holding back up. It's up 20% again. I'm not going to fight this one too hard, but it is worth noting the same top we had pre-market opening range. We're rolling over shy of that. I just would not hold through the high of the day. I would take one last shot short at this one in front of 36.50. But let's go to Brendan now.
Yeah, it feels like forever ago, but we were talking about that Nautilus way back, probably 9:45. 950 with some of those retailers this morning, and apparel makers as well, moving to the top side. But I just want to mention this one through 440 once again. $20 move, guys, for Zoom, just popping up once again on a volume scanner, guys.
Yeah, Zoom to the roof. Isn't Nautilus NLS? Is it that's?
Yeah.
So they're Bowflex, right? So yeah, that makes sense to me why they're coming back down. They're the maker equipment, Nordic Track, Bowflex, all that stuff. This is one that I was tracking for a while, and I almost gave this one out to you guys. That I know this stock. I'm actually long this stock, and it was a COVID play down. I mean, I'm not long down in here. I'm long in here somewhere 11, 12, 13 as it tested that 50 period back to the upside. So like I said, man, I'm not out of it. So this is a big move down for me today. So we got to get back into that one. But that's Nautilus right now. And yeah, they're a retail, but they do have, obviously, like I just said, you can look it up, NLS, some of the brands that they have there. 23, it's a nice little dipping spot here. 23.10, but they've come from very, very far down. Man, there were so many opportunities.
Yeah, like this is one that I'm a little surprised because this is one we have talked about before, and I'm a little surprised we didn't look at it. Obviously, Peloton was great. We talked about all these different names here, but it is sort of worth noting if we get back to like this 23.50, 24. I think at some point cooler heads will prevail. You'll get some sideways action. I just look for consolidation at an obvious price point as a day trader, and then stay away from anything too heavy. I think if you were looking to buy the dip on this one, I mean, look, you either did it $20 or you didn't, and if you haven't, I don't know that I would be chasing it up here. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, and that's the right thinking, I believe, anyways, right now. Don't chase anything. Okay, Beyond Meat, again, this is the one, again, I mean, it kind of goes back to the same thinking here. Beyond Meat, a little oversold right now. There's been so many crazy prices today that really, I mean, I'm glad that we've hit this for you a lot. But, I mean, if you just even look at something like XOM that doesn't move, generally speaking, a whole hell of a lot. We do have Arbor Metals coming on, so we will talk about the commodity space as well, as this is oil, but we'll be talking metals. But, I mean, XOM today had a 38 peg on it at one point, guys. European stocks now close 4% higher. We'll see if the ES can come up to that. But there we go. XOM now just chilling out. It found its peg at 38 and then bang, just dropped right down into the 36 level. So I think, you know, like a JP Morgan, like an XOM, some of these value plays are sticking up here a little bit. JP Morgan, I love this long. Wow, okay, what is this level? We're actually right here, 1430. Okay, if we can take out 1430, guys, JP Morgan might be a good one here for a last second play. The only thing I'm in is Beyond Meat, and it's a 20-cent winner. Can't hit the banks for that one, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the review of my positions here, but we do have Arbor coming on. It was just, I mean, I was just looking over at GDX down like 7%, and just sort of worth noting, basically holding gains on Arbor. So very interesting. I can't wait to hear thoughts on what's going on with this name, guys, because obviously it's good to see any miner that would be holding up. The metal space is getting crushed. I think that sort of goes without saying. I still would firmly believe that crypto should hold up a little better than I think it has so far today, but we'll get into that a little bit later. ONCT, I've been battling this one all morning long. I'm just saying that this one might finally start to be the win that I was looking for this entire time. I just got some out at 5/4. We did pick this up here, and like with multiple entries near the top, and I think this is the way that I should always be doing this. And you see me do it in the pre-market. You catch the rollovers. You maybe have one muted entry when you're catching on the way up. But anytime I'm doing this, where it's like on the way up, this was on the rollover, no problem with that. Catch it on the bottom, on the way up, roll over. These are the entries that are good. And this is what I mean by having too many shares. You get that FOMO, but this is how the structure should happen for me. If we break 5 even, I'll have a little bit left, but ONCT looks like it's finally going to be a good one. So, man, I've been fighting this one. It looks like we'll slay this dragon here. I don't know why the dragon has to be Brendan, but it is what it is.
Because he's the biggest and the baddest, man. Brendan's bad, man. He's bad, man.
He's a bad man.
Brendan, yeah, no. So good look there on that one. Okay, I just want to have a little comment here about metals, like we just talked about it quickly there, Neil. Like, the equities had a huge run, obviously, today. You've seen what equities have done the last little while. Nothing wrong with getting into some gold. And here's GLD down that 5%, right? You're seeing GLD. Look at the daily chart on this one as well. Now making moves down. We're going to go in a second, but here's Arbor Metals kicking it, like Neil just showed, to the high side, and kicking it today to the high side as well. So here we go. Let's go over to Brendan. What's up, B?
Hey guys, yeah, very excited to have a very special guest joining us this morning. We're going to touch a little bit on Arbor Metals, but also I want to get his opinion on gold markets in general because of this move both today and over the past little while. We saw on that daily chart of Arbor Metals stock there, what a move this stock has had from recent lows to where it is today. Alex Klenman, Director of Corporate Development for Arbor Metals, joining us this morning. So glad to have you with us, Alex. It's been an interesting market so far today. We've seen metal prices, just fall off the table a little bit with this news over the weekend unexpectedly. Why don't we start a little bit of a backstory when it comes to Arbor Metals? Tell us about the company and how it got started.
Yeah, I'd love to. Arbor Metals is an exploration stage gold company. We're concentrating our efforts on a property in Burkina Faso, West Africa, rather large piece of ground. It's in the right place. It's on a well-known gold belt that has given up millions of ounces of gold in the past. And we like where we are, and we like our timing.
And a joint venture project that you're working on currently. Tell us a little bit about how the project came to be and why that region was chosen.
Right. As I mentioned, it's Burkina Faso is the size of Colorado. There are multiple majors in the area. Endeavor, IM Gold, B2 Gold, all major corporations, and they hold large land packages in and around where we are. We have 250 square kilometers. We've got 10 kilometers of trend, gold trend straight through the property. So when you're looking to find ounces in the ground, these are the places to go. So we're, we like the criteria has been met for a top tier exploration project, and this is it for us.
It's been in the news of late, that region, I should say, in the news over the past couple of years because of some geopolitical tensions in the region.
Sure.
Give us your thoughts real quick on where that stands and how that may or may not affect the company.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, we're in central Burkina, so it's relatively safe, in terms of West Africa. But there are hot spots. There's no doubt about it. But sometimes you need to take the risk to go find the big elephants, and that's really all it is. We have a Burkina-based crew. Burkinabés is what they're called, and we move quite freely there. There's no real issue. It's really the problem spots are the northern border with Mali and the northeastern border with Niger. Those are the places you really don't want to be. But right now there are major gold corporations working in those areas. So, like I say, it's you put up sometimes with bad news, and that causes some fluctuations in investor sentiment, but it always comes back, it always bounces back, and that's the life you live in West Africa.
You mentioned 250 square kilometers, the property currently being worked on. What stage of development is the project currently at?
Yeah, it's early stage. There's been drilling in the southwest corner that has been very positive. We've done a bit of work. The previous operator's done a bit of work moving this sort of trend in a northeastern direction. So our goal is to continue to drill on that northeastern trend, fill in the gaps, and widen that footprint of mineralization, because that's where we're going to get a compliant resource. The more drilling we do, the better chance we have of something large, and that's really how you're going to see the market cap improve, and you're going to see perhaps some attention from the majors in the area.
And when it comes to exploration gold companies, it's all about, as you mentioned, the drilling. What's the timeline in the near future for any kind of start date or progression when it comes to that?
Yeah, we're going to drill throughout 2021. There's budget meetings going on right now. We just got data back from one of the geochemical surveys we've done. The guys, the geological crew, Warren, Rob, Peter, our PhD geologist in the office, we're going to be picking our priority targets from this data. And I would anticipate, late Q1, early Q2, that perhaps the drills will start. But that's going to be up to the guys on the ground, and the geologists really know the game in that regard. I'm corporate.
Yeah, we've obviously had a few more positive sentiment stories coming through as far as the overall market. Love to get your opinion on the gold market itself. As we're going into both the end of this year and then the beginning of next year, we're seeing some money going back into equities. Obviously today with the positive sentiment surrounding the stock market itself. Just generalization here, I guess, when it comes to the gold market. Where are we exactly?
Oh, it's a fantastic time. And of course, we pick a day that Pfizer happens to put out a news release that basically kills the momentum in gold, but that's fine. I think it's an overreaction, 100%. If you read the details in the Pfizer announcement, efficacy hasn't been proven. There's a lot of placebo that will skew the numbers. There's logistical issues in delivering the vaccine, but it is good news. I think, quite frankly, it's a major overreaction on the metal price, and it'll bounce back. Stimulus is coming. They're printing money like mad. That's going to be a very positive catalyst for gold. And we're going to see the market we've begun to see throughout 2020 with that creep towards 2000. We think 2,500 in 2021 is not out of the question. And so, it's a gold market. It's a good place to be. And then I think we're really going to see investor sentiment flood into the gold equities in the next little while.
Yeah, we saw recent all-time highs, obviously, in the gold market. We're coming off that today, obviously, with this pullback. But as you mentioned, as far as timing is concerned, we're kind of in a good place here. And I'm referring to the work that Arbor is doing, the timing of that work when it comes to some of these exploration holes. You said some stimulus still to come from Washington, depending on the timeline of that in correlation with when you start to get some of the data from these drilling holes.
Well, that's listen. What I can say is our timing has been somewhat calculated. We made some bets that we would see the market we did, and we have seen over 2020, and we're adjusting our exploration plans to coincide with what we think will be a hot market. Because the best thing we can do for our investors is to put good drill results out into a hot market. And that's how these things go. And we can see it. The writing's on the wall. It's just when. We're going to have these days where there's going to be some news that's going to come in. I mean, hey, a couple of months ago, Vladimir Putin said he had a vaccine. Gold dropped $80. But if you're looking backwards, that was a blip. And I think today's a blip. Eventually it's going to settle. But as you mentioned, monetary policy is really what's going to drive the price of gold.
And we've seen, as you said, both directions as far as reactions are concerned. We had a little bit of a look forward as far as the company is concerned. Let's take a look in the rearview mirror a little bit. Tell us a little bit about how 2020 has been for Arbor Metals.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. Obviously, if you look at a chart, we've discussed this before and discussed this with others. There's a correlation, or there's a synchronicity between our share price, our chart over 2020 and the price of gold. So I think we're tightly held. We've got 47 million shares out, but they're held within a lot of very long-term investors. So our liquidity is not huge. That's a good sign. I mean, no one's killing bids. It's strong. It's held. Our investors believe in the long-term story, and we think we can go much higher based on how the drilling goes in 2021 and beyond. Listen, the gold space needs discovery. The number of large deposits and discoveries that have come to the market in the last 10 years has been steadily declining. So there's an absolute need. The majors need to replenish their stocks. And this is where a junior exploration company comes in. You got to find the right area to drill. We already know there's gold there. There's no issue there. We do know it's there. How widespread is it? How much is there? How economic is it? Those are the answers we're gonna come to in 2021.
And as you said, needs discovery, needs to produce in a sense. And let's talk about that from an investor standpoint. When it comes to these types of discoveries and these types of companies, we're looking for some sort of incentive maybe down the road. Tell us about any sort of timeline as far as dates are concerned that investors should be aware of.
Sure. Well, look, for us, I tell you one thing: you can never put a hard deadline on when something's going to happen in exploration. There's always, variables that play into when you can deliver news. But our plan so far has worked to a T, and I think it's going to continue to work in 2021. But we should mention, if you're heading into the bull market, we think we're heading into, and we're not alone in our thoughts on that. A lot of smarter people than I are out there calling the bull market for gold. You want to make sure you have some money in exploration companies. They're higher risk, they're higher reward. You can put money into Barrick, some of the major producers, and they're going to be steady eddies. But they're not going to have the dramatic increases that the juniors are going to have in a bull market. You can see 4, 5, 6, 10 times based on one drill hole, and that you're not going to see with the producers. Steady eddies for sure, but allocate a little bit of money in your portfolios to the juniors, in the right places at the right time, and you're going to see some amazing returns.
Listed on the Venture Exchange here in Toronto as ABR. Guys, go check out Arbor Metals. I'll put you on the spot here, Alex, real quick. We talked a little bit about the project in Africa. As far as what is next for Arbor Metals, anything kind of off in the future being eyed at this point?
Well, really, honestly, the entire value proposition with Arbor and companies like Arbor is the drilling. So know that we're funded. We're going to drill. There will be news catalysts from that over the course of time, but I think the macro picture really amplifies what we're doing on the ground. So as long as we're timing our news and our drilling to coincide with the appreciation in the price of the metal, I think the share price will do quite well.
Director of Corporate Development at Arbor Metals, Alex Klenman. A pleasure, sir. Come back and give us an update in the future.
Appreciate it. Would love to. Have a great day.
You as well. There we go, guys. A little bit of a look at Arbor Metals. We like to give you a little bit of a profile of some companies that might be, just off the radar, but worth having a look at as far as what is to come in the future, guys. We're always talking about the metal market, specifically gold. A little bit of a pullback as we saw today with the return to equities, but a little look there at Arbor Metals, guys.
Yeah, and what a fantastic look it was, because I feel like, we're going to give you these opportunities for you to learn a little something every single day, whether it's picking up a new name or a sector that maybe we're not talking about enough of. And I think that's certainly going to be true from time to time when it comes to especially metals and energy around here, because you see us jump into tech and some of these other heavy movers. So I'm really glad we got that look, and it was fantastic to be able to show you the juxtaposition there between Arbor holding up on its daily chart, even though, like I said, you see GDX off like 7% today, and obviously we've talked about that all morning long. So you look at some of these names, you look at the opportunities. I think it was a fantastic, as always, interview by Brendan. Wow, I mean, it's been a crazy morning here, Sean, obviously, and I'll just try to run through the last of my positions here. I do still have that last third of Disney. I've moved my trail closer to break even. We're back below 3,600, and Disney's still trying to get to VWAP here. So if we break back below like 139.50, I can lock in $1 profit. I'll just go ahead and do that. ONCT is the other one. I don't need to talk about SNDL. That's short, that penny stock. It's been a solid one, and I think the structure that's pretty easy. But ONCT is finally making its test of 5 even. I have one last leg I'll get out before holding. Ultimately, if it breaks 5, I think we can get down to that 420, and we're short here at 608. All bets are off. If it breaks about 570 to the upside, I think it tests the high. Brendan, what's up, bud?
What a morning. We are still a couple minutes away here, guys. We'll wrap things up for the day, but we got to remember earnings. I mean, we had some of the cannabis space this morning reporting earnings. Remember, for the most part, better than expected. We are still in earnings with all this other stuff going on. Let's have a look at what is to come, both aftermarket tonight and before the open tomorrow, guys.
A couple of your names there, Sean.
Yeah, you see Nicola coming through. I don't think that's Simon Property Group.
No, I meant Tiltwell.
Yeah. Oh, Tilray. Yeah. So marijuana names coming through. Obviously, we saw a good look there. Brendan and Neil, we saw those today. Some of the marijuana names. Look, man, it's been a super successful day. We're still trying to stay perfect here on the day. And if Beyond Meat can give it to us, then we will take it. So just so you guys know, target we are long at 144. Target up here 148. We'll drop it if it breaks 142. Thank you so much for coming on today, guys. It's only been 2 minutes left in the show, but it's been a Superman kind of day, and I hope you feel the same about your position.
Yeah, 100%. One other name on that list, Novavax, has put in a $22 range today. I say that with a bit of a chuckle, but let's watch for this one. Obviously, we know the entire biopharma space has been in play, and Novavax could be some serious fireworks tomorrow, especially if it tries to retest 100. How am I not? I don't know why I wasn't shorting $100. I should have been all over that one. But there is a couple of things we got to do before we get out of here. Oh, sorry, not yet. We'll get to that one in just a little bit, guys. But I did want to remind everybody here, of course, one last thing to get to, and we talked about this last name, and it was a bit of a missed opportunity in Nautilus, but I don't think that the story is going to be done. I was looking at this 2350 to 24 area. Maybe if it rolls over, I'm not chasing the long in this stock. But that opportunity is probably come and gone. Didn't quite get up to that 2350. It turned around at 23 even. So maybe it bounces off VWAP for you. I was looking for this 23 to 2450 shorts. We missed it. I don't know what this one is going to be because it's national. We got to go to what national day it is, and I can see the picture, and I am completely clueless. So Valeria, what are we looking at here?
Thank you, Neil. And hey, guys, what a great start of the week. We reached today a record number of viewers. So welcome, everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and smash the like button. Guys, go watch your next educational video. And happy National Scrapple Day, everyone.
Scrapple?
What?
Scrapple. That's like, I think it's like what we call like tree bark. Like, isn't it like what's on the top of like creme brulee there, where you get sugar and like different toppings all in like baked? I don't know, Brendan.
I don't know what this.
I'm kind of at a loss for words here.
I don't.
That's my guess.
I love creme brulee. I'm not sure that's what
Anybody
that
know
is.
what Scrapple is?
You guys tell us what Scrapple is, and
I
maybe
wish it was chicken sandwich day. Someone just said on the chat. Tim, what's up, Tim? Hoping for some chicken sandwich days as well. Okay, Beyond Meat here, guys, is now 80 cents in the money. You take it if you want. There's a $1 winner for you if you want it. But it's been a good show, Neil. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, why not, guys? It's been a fantastic one. You know I got to do one thing before we get out of here for you guys. Look, it's all about education around here, and timing matters. And there's Sean looking inquisitive. But we talk about different time frames, and during lunchtime when it's slower, that's when we can start Googling what Scrapple is. But do check this out.
People have talked
Pork.
about it here. Just check the chat. Yeah,
I see. Okay, yeah. No, it's not
food.
something we smoke, but either way, it's a good one. This video is a good one. We try to make sure everything is going to be informative for you guys, but we talk about this all the time. We trade heavily in the morning, but lunchtime there are opportunities, end of day as well. So time of day, it does make a difference. Check out our Market Wisdom page. Valeria has already dropped the link to this video. Man, I am both hungry and a little bit tired. It's been a wild one this morning. Thank you, Disney. Still going to the upside here. But for the entire team, for Valeria, for my man Sean Katina, get that water in because I know I've been neglecting mine. Brendan Wickens, what an unbelievable interview that was. I know you guys enjoyed it because I can see the love on the chat there. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
See ya.